Kravitz. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good afternoon and welcome to Weekend Warriors right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your proud host, Howard Kravitz, along with contest player, co-host, great friends, Matt Miller, and to his right, Philly boy, Andrew Rosinski. Can you feel the energy and the vibe? It is Whitney Day here as we are live on the HHH Racing Podcast at 4:30 Eastern here on Saturday. We're going to bring you all four grade ones at Saratoga plus coverage at Del Mar and Woodbine as well. The next race is in just a few minutes. It's the beginning of the grade ones at Saratoga, race 9, the test stakes. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. It costs you absolutely nothing. And also hit that notification bell on the top right. We would greatly appreciate it. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor, and follow us on X right over there below Andrew. Maybe Andrew could point down at it, at HHH Racing Pod. Gentlemen, how are we doing today? What a great day of racing, Matt.
Super fun day of racing. And, look, it's it's always amazing when you start a show midway through the day. You could tell, like, immediately from someone's energy level. Are they up? Are they down? How's it going? Yeah, okay, I got some energy to me. I'm doing pretty well. Cash has gone well. I'm in a good spot in this tournament. I will be leaving after an hour to go downtown for family dinner. So this is going to be another one of these just awful try and do it from the car experiences, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, these races are great. We've got Explorer coming up. Katie in the chat, that's her birthday bet. Let's not forget that. So yeah, a year of $5 footlongs for Katie if Explorer wins. What's up, Andrew?
Big story, Andrew. IRAD off his mounts. What a brutal timing as the horse in race 8 acted up. He's at the hospital with an ankle injury, apparently. I mean, you wait for these kind of days. Not that IRAD needs the money or anything, but you got to feel for him, Andrew. That's just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, especially on a day like today, the biggest day of the meet. Well, one of the biggest days of the meet, but biggest day so far. And, having a good day and then boom, get hurt. That's the worst case scenario, I would say. Luckily, it's not too much of an injury, and it just seems to be a little ankle injury. Hopefully, he'll be back soon, and hopefully, it doesn't keep him out too long.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into race 9 because it says post time. There's still a few minutes left. This is the beginning of the grade ones, guys. I'll bring it up on screen. Again, if you're new to the show, we can only play audio because, of course, Fox has the rights to the TV version, but we will play the audio, of course, as I go and bring it up on the screen, the field for the test. I would recommend you just turn the sound down on your TV or whatever you're watching and have us on your iPad, laptop, whatever, with sound up. It's $500,000, $500,000, 3-year-old fillies sprinting, the premier race of the year for fillies, 3-year-olds sprinting. Andrew, what say you right now? Explorer and Movie Night taking a ton of money, pretty much co-favorites.
Yeah, I really like Movie Night here. The Walden Barn's on fire, per usual. A little cold to start the Saratoga meet, but this isn't really his known meet. But Jose Ortiz gets the mount. This horse just has done nothing wrong in 3 starts. Also Where the Luck Lives in the debut, but that was in the slop. And then, obviously first time out. Improves a ton second time out, and then even gets better as it gets to a fast track. So far, the rain has held off at Saratoga, although it probably is going to hit there in an hour or so. Or so. If it does hit, that's where it's projected to. But yeah, I think this one's just training up really well, and it's a good spot for this horse, and I think this one's ready to take the next step forward.
I agree. I'm slightly concerned about the inside, but she doesn't need the lead. She's the fresh face. This was my top pick, Andrew, in this race. Matt, did you look at this race carefully? Are you betting from a contest perspective?
I did look carefully. I am alive to Explora in some doubles, but if I'm being honest, I would have felt better about this if she was 6-5 or even money. 8-5 is not super chilly on the board, but 2-1 on that rail horse is definitely live and scary. So I just actually entered a Twin Spires contest at the last minute, one of those cash ones, and I did some doubles using the 1. So we'll see what happens.
I've never been a big Explorer guy, Andrew, and it's for anyone knows me, it's not a Baffert thing, so please don't put that in the chat. The best buyer is a 90. She doesn't pass horses normally. There's a lot of speed in here. I think she's a really bad bet at 8-5. I'm not ripping on Matt's pick at all. I'm 167 here. I'm using Explorer defensively. I don't know. I think 7 furlongs is her best distance, so I don't think she's a true two-turn horse. So I do like the distance for her.
Yeah, I think that the fact that Carmel Coast stayed in this race and then go to Ellis tomorrow kind of hampers Explorer's chances here a little bit.
I agree completely with that.
Just because of the speed aspect, but there's a ton of speed in this race, and I just think I'd rather have somebody that kind of sits off a little bit more than anything else. And that's why I went with the 1.
Luis Saez.
Do you guys hear this?
14th, number 6.
We hear the
Luis
sound?
Saez,
Great.
and 13th, number 1. Luis Saez. We will have announcements for you soon for the Whitney and the Saratoga Derby.
Okay,
which would be
so
races
Saez
on
is on
the
the 6 here. In our time, Andrew, I've never been a huge fan of this horse either, to be very honest, but with all the speed, it might just set up for her. I'm going 167. What's your top 3 as we're going to the gate for the test, Andrew?
I'm going to be 136 actually, because I feel the same way about Sipping Pretty as you do about On Time Girl.
And Matt, you're going 7, and then who else underneath, or anyone
7.
else you're interested in? Just 7.
7 or 1. I ended up
All right.
catching pretty evenly.
I don't sleep on Percy's Bar turning back. I've never been a fan of hers, but Matt knows especially. I love mile 16 to 7 furlong turnbacks. It almost worked for me earlier today with a horse named Fact, who just barely lost. It's the grade 1 test on the HHH Racing Podcast as they are loading. Let's bring on Frank Buramati with the call and the sound, which he'll be on. Actually, the sound is on, so when he starts talking, we'll be ready here. Good
Here's
luck to everyone.
Taking
First,
up her place in the colors of Pegram, Watson, and Whiteman.
first race of the day.
Luck lives.
Let's go, Katie.
Good luck,
Carmel
Matt,
Coast
with Explorer and to Katie,
from
too.
the outside. It's the 101st running of the test. And they're off in the test presented by Ticketmaster, and Carmel Coast bounced out right on top. Also, Goodall showing good speed. Movie Night is flying through along the inside, and Explora is flashing sharp early foot. She's going to be right off the pace today. And Sippin' Pretty
You're
is
fine,
on
Matt.
the
You're
inside,
sitting
4
comfortably. You
lengths
have no
off the lead
excuses
as
at
they
all.
run down the backstretch, where Movie Night has emerged with a 3/4 length lead over Goodall in second. Flavian Pratt and Explorer 3 off the pace in third. Sippin' Pretty, Where Luck Lives in between horses. Carmel Coast is next. Percy's Bar is second to last. On Time Girl trails 22-2 for Movie Night, the leader. Explorer moves alongside Goodall to come after Movie Night. 3 of them across the track with 3 furlongs to run. Sippin' Pretty is racing in fourth. Percy's Bar advancing along the inside. They're at the quarter pole. Goodall short lead. Explorer on the outside. Then Movie Night behind them. Percy's Bar is getting into it. And Sippin' Pretty on the outside. Explorer splits her stuff mid-stretch and opens up with big strides as Percy's Bar takes up the chase, but Explorer puts on a dazzling display in the test presented by Ticketmaster. She rolled home by more than 5 lengths.
5 lengths for a $5 footlong. How about that? Katie, congratulations. That was terrific.
Nice shot, Matt and Katie. 122-2. Explorer with a perfect trip. Did it professionally. I thought there might be more speed in the race. The 4 didn't break. The 1 broke a little bit slow, Andrew. You can't break even a half step slow in these kind of races from the inside, but frankly, the 1 just didn't have it today. Percy's Bar did make a nice run for second. Would have been a nice reverse tri-key. You get 9-5, Matt, on, I think, arguably the most accomplished horse in this race for sure, and I suppose the most talented one. I'm not surprised that she won. I mean, I was trying to go other places. So congratulations. 9-5 is a steal if you like Explorer, Matt.
Agreed. And I look, the Will Walden factor at this point is almost becoming like an IRAD factor. His percentage is just so high that I do think he's becoming a bit of a tax on his horses' prices just because he's so darn good. yeah, and when you see those horses catching money, look, I'll admit I ended up, shaving off some of my position with that entry in that contest, figuring, look, the one spooked me too, but I still, thankfully I committed earlier with bigger doubles, so that was good.
Matt, for you, but especially our good friend Katie, this is for you guys. First of all, I get the applause, and then of course that is going to be a big time crush for Matt and for Katie. Explorer 122-2. Andrew, I just watched the replay. The Ford didn't break at all. She was supposed to be a pace factor in this race. When I saw Explorer sitting, she's getting more professional, Andrew. She used to be pretty much like only speed. That was a very professional effort. Granted, it was a perfect trip, but she blew those horses away. I think you're looking at a serious Breeders' Cup Filly Mare sprint contender at this point, Andrew. Clearly the best 3-year-old sprinter in the country on the female side. It's really not even close right now.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Yeah, I was surprised that Carmel Coast broke out so sharp and then just stopped and then kind of took back and kind of messed up the whole pace scenario, especially with everybody else rushing up, because it seemed like the first 3 or 4 horses kind of stumbled out the gate or maybe took a misstep at the gate, and that's why the one had to rush up and the 2 was kind of far back. But yeah, no excuses for anybody else really, and Explorer just dominated the field.
I don't really understand why the 8 would have taken back. Your only chance is go to the lead. Plus, they decided to go here instead of Alice, Andrew. I envisioned the 8 giving the 7 a problem, and when I saw that didn't happen, I knew that 7 was going to run a big race. Matt, I think we're going to see this one at Keeneland in November. She's not good enough to go mile and 1/8. She's really not a mile and 1/8 horse. I know she ran pretty well in the Oaks, Matt, but this is a perfect 7 furlong candidate for the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint. And I would say, I know we're, this is right after the fact, and of course everyone exaggerates. I mean, at this point, you got to consider her one of the favorites in that race as of now.
Yeah, the one thing I probably, the knock I would put on this horse for Breeders' Cup purposes is I'm not sure I love her running style for that particular race.
Really,
if we're really talking sprint, I'd like to have a horse that can just blow the doors off the competition by running them off their feet. I'd rather
that race, just to let you know, Matt, that race is 7. The boys is 6.
So I'd still like to be forward. I remember plenty of years at Keeneland where, there's a speed bias, there's a rail bias, whatever. So just from a style perspective, if you told me what kind of style you think is going to do well in the sprint, I'd like someone forwardly placed. Although I was encouraged today that she was definitely closer than I expected. So that was good.
Yeah. In hindsight, it doesn't look like she beat much. I mean, she's going to have to face older. Put in the chat, everyone, is Explorer a legitimate Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare sprint candidate at this point? We got a lot to talk about, Matt. I'm going to show the leaderboard for Twin Spires here in just a little bit. And you know what, guys? I didn't prep you on this, but anyone that knows me knows that I started as a harness player. The biggest harness race in the entire year is about to happen at the Meadowlands, and I'm going to play the sound for the Hambletonian because we have time for it. They're about a minute away from the Hambletonian, so we'll play the sound for it. If you don't care about harness racing at all, that's fine. You can just not listen, or you can learn and have some fun. It's basically the Kentucky Derby, although it's trotters. But anyway, we'll go and play that race. Next on the agenda, by the way, is what I think one of the more difficult, two great races at Saratoga. The 4-star Dave, Andrew, followed by the Saratoga Derby. I think these are 2 very difficult races on the turf. And as you're talking, I'm going to, and Matt, feel free to make fun of me. I'm going to actually look at the radar and see what the weather looks like for Saratoga. But Andrew, 2 very tough races coming up at Saratoga that we're going to deep dive into.
Yeah, I mean, these are the premier races of the day. I think, well, not the premier race, but the 2 premier turf races of the day. And, look, how you guys know how big of a fan of the deterministic I am and how my buddy Kendrick Carmouche rides that horse to the winner circle almost every time. So I'm hoping that happens again in the next one in the 4-star Dave. And then, I think the Saratoga Derby's wide open. Some of those European horses are very, very live. And if there is a little bit of rain, they're going to definitely take to that ground a little bit better than the American horses. So it depends on the rain, but if it holds off, I think West End Kid might be able to show up again. So maybe, but we'll get into it when we get to it. But yeah, I think they're going to be two pretty good live races.
Looking at the radar right now, it looks like it's going to hold off for another about 35, 40 minutes, at least the heaviest stuff. So I think the next race is going to be fine, Andrew. And it also looks like it might just clip the track and move south. We might get lucky and move just south of the track. There's obviously some heavy thunderstorms coming. I don't think it's going to be like a, continually matte for like the rest of the card kind of thing. Let's just hope that it doesn't. Safiel, by the way, already scratched Forged Steel guys. And he said White Bar would not run if it's wet. That is a major storyline and would be a huge bummer if you're a fan of Safi right now. If the rain ends up coming, of course, you can't re-enter, Matt. So, I mean, what's done is done. That's a fascinating storyline here in the next 2 hours.
Yeah, tough to always know, exactly what the intent is or what the thinking is. But, I do think that's a little rough to have a scratch this late in the process. With morning lines out, with all that, I don't know. It's a little frustrating. If they knew what they were doing, they should have just done it. But whatever.
All right, let's get let's go ahead and start talking about the next race here, as the Meadowlands is still. Actually, let's go to the contest situation, Matt. Let's do that. Let me go ahead and bring up on the screen right now the contest situation. Is it updated from the last race? Probably not yet. I would assume.
So the last race was the 9th.
Yeah, I don't think it probably isn't yet. It's been a little bit slower because Saratoga's been slower. It's not Twin Spires.
Yeah, it's all NYRA. That's ever since the Kendrick weigh-in. It's taken an extra couple of minutes. It's painful.
We are partially sponsored by Twin Spires. I'm sorry, Andrew. Go ahead.
No, they just went official at Saratoga. It took that long to pay it out. So,
all right. We are partially sponsored by Twin Spires Tournaments. Thank you, everyone at Twin Spires. Appreciate it. Matt, you're in third right now. Talk about the big hit you had earlier to get to that spot. I know you had 2 entries. You went 2 win bets on 2 separate horses. Tagermeen stumbled horribly. Shout out to Noah Maher, who really liked this horse all week long. I actually like the 8 quite a bit, who got shoved out 10 wide, but really Tagermeen was just the better animal. You used those 2, and they finished 1-2, separated by about half a length. There was an inquiry, so you had to be slightly nervous, but actually, now that I think about it, Fact would have been better. You actually would have preferred the 7 coming down because you hit on a 5-2. Meanwhile, Fact was 3-1 in that race.
Separately, Tagermeen was one of my bigger spot play cash plays on the day, so I was thrilled with the way that worked out. But you're right, the contest would have worked out better if it had been the 8. And look, I don't mind sharing strategies directly. NYRA has a terrific contest today. It's a seeded pool, and I found a spot where I thought only 3 horses could win. By the way, I don't think I was totally right. There was at least one other horse in there that was plenty good enough, in my opinion, now. But in the NYRA contest, I played the 6, and so I was dead there, but shot to the lead here at Twin Spires, where I'm thrilled to be doing well. Participation today is gigantic. What I see, like 117 entries or something. So there's just a ton of seats. There's just a ton more than, I necessarily would have expected. So without people really making some serious moves, and I don't want to eat my words, we still need to hit reload and catch the next race. Oh, that's up now. Give me one second.
You're in third, Matt.
Still in third. Okay, great. Yeah. Great. So that's still it's felt like this for the last few races where there just hasn't been a ton of movement. I don't know if people are all waiting for the Whitney or whatnot, but it does feel as time goes that these totals at the top get a little bit safer. So, yeah, we'll see. But just to be clear, and I know that I can, I want to be real clear with my words. The objective today is a placement in that prize pool. So while there are both BCBC and KDBC seats available, I'm not saying I don't care about the $5,000 difference. I am saying I'd be thrilled to get anything. So that's the goal, and we'll see what happens.
5 KDBCs, 3 BCBCs. Wow. Yeah. And 3,500 for 9th. I'll just show everyone what I did because it was heartbreaking, to be very honest. I really liked my play. I know Matt knows, Andrew, you don't know, but I'll just show people just for purposes of contest conversation, I had 2 entries. I really liked Andrew in race 3. I liked Full Screen, the 3, who got checked a little bit early, tried to come up the inside mat. It was very subtle, but it was very important. I slammed my fist on my table. If you watch carefully, he had to check ever so slightly, but he did lose a length or two. In these races, it matters. So what you can see that I did there, Andrew, is I played 1, 4, and 6 on top with Full Screen in second on one entry. And then on the other entry, I just did full send win bet on Full Screen. So Full Screen, basically, Andrew, had to come first or second. And watching it live, I actually thought that he got second, Matt. And I had the one also, would have been about 1,800, Andrew. And then, of course, I would have hit race 5 and whatever. If and buts, candy and nuts.
Hey, look,
the way things have been going in contests, Andrew, I didn't see the photo for second. It had to be an inch in that race.
Yeah, it was close, but no, it was a good pick. I mean, the horse ran well, just came up unlucky, and you can't really knock yourself for that because that horse was probably much the best. I think I watched the race. I really thought you were going to get there, even though not knowing you had it, but I thought that horse was going to get up. So, good handicapping on your end is just, unlucky. It's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, and I was a little bit against Vibe, who's a horse that I've liked before, but I mean, he was 8-5, man. I thought he was way too low. Although Pletcher is still trying to get number 6,000. I think all of his horses, Matt, frankly, are going to get overbet as the wings of the gate are spreading out at the Meadowlands for the Hambletonian. I don't know. Maybe one other time, Matt, and we have plenty of time, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're anxious about Saratoga, you're like, let's talk about Saratoga. We got 23 minutes of Saratoga, so we got plenty of time. I think maybe we've played the Hambletonian before. I will number 7 Endurance is really interesting to me. The favorite's the 4. I'm going to go 7, 3, 4 and try to beat the 4, but the 4 is really tough.
$1 million.
Good luck, everyone, in the Hambletonian right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. Will it be Apex, Endurance, or the favorite, the number 4, who is, what's the name again, Andrew? Drawing blank.
Big Ranger.
Big Ranger. Here we go.
Guy.
Timmy Tetrick in the sulky.
Clear all tar off and trotting. Big Ranger gets the first call. Off stride goes Magic Funk. Magic Funk broke. Minoan leaves alertly on the inside and darts out there. Off stride, it could be worse. So it's Minoan and Big Ranger on the outside takes the lead. Apex.
Couldn't be much worse than that.
The opening quarter they go. Captain
3 horses have broken,
inside,
actually.
Settles in front of Endurance is gapped in 5th.
There goes Apex.
2 lengths there to AI on the inside 6. Then comes Spencer Hanover and American
Again,
Power.
you're listening to the
Far back,
Hambletonian.
We're still off stride.
Biggest
Magic
horse race
First
in the
quarter's
country.
hot.
HHH
26 and 4. Apex makes a move to the front for Dexter Dunn. So Apex and Dexter Dunn will call the shots early here. Big Ranger back in that second spot now. Minoan tracks along in 3rd position. Captain Naughty under a tight rein in 4th. Hard to wrangle in there. Endurance on the inside 5th as the pace slows. AI on the inside 6th. Then comes Spencer, Hanover, and American Power. And way back, it could be worse. And that distant trailer is Magic Punk. The half was 54 and 3. Pretty solid pace here. And Apex is the target. Stalked here by Big Ranger 2nd. They round the turn with 3.
If Endurance wins this race, Andrew, he's really going to have to earn it coming first over here.
Outside. Trying
Not
to
ideal.
Into it here is AI, gapping that cover, still inching in. And a shuffle for Captain Naughty on the rail at 3/4.
Not going to happen.
Apex. Big Ranger. Deuce pops right now for Tetrick and takes his shot as they pass 3/4 in 1. 22 and 4
2 favorites
in the stretch of the Hambletonian. Apex on the inside, digging in and bracing for Big Ranger on the outside, who had a perfect trip. They duel through the stretch here. Apex digs in. Big Ranger on the outside. Stride for stride tussle. Minoan is 3rd. Apex. Big Ranger trying to get to him. Apex on the inside. Big Ranger. Oh, it's too close to call.
I think
Apex and Big Ranger.
I think Apex.
Then Minoan noses apart.
My.
49 and 2, a stakes record, and a photo for win in the Hambletonian.
Wow.
What a thriller.
What a throwdown. 149 and 2. That is a record for the Hambletonian. I think Apex on the inside, Andrew, just knows that Big Ranger. What a throwdown. Endurance broke coming around the turn. They're showing the what do you think here? I think Apex held on, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tim Tetrick had an amazing move there to cut off Endurance, but I think that might be a dead heat. I mean, that's
the wire is always a little bit. The wire's tricky there, Andrew. You gotta be a little bit ahead, Matt, of the wire. Like if you're looking at, if everyone's watching what I'm watching here, the camera is like 10 feet in front of the wire, and it's a little bit deceiving. You almost have to be, a foot or two in front of the horse on the inside, Matt, to win. I'm 96% positive Apex actually won this race flat out. It's either that or dead heat, but I think it's going to be Apex at 5-2 over Big Ranger. 149 and change, Matt. Trotters, 3-year-olds in the Hambo. Wow.
I mean, I remember when 2 minutes was like for a trotter was crazy. I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Look at that one horse, 99-1 in third.
99-1 in third. Dexter Dunn was driving Apex. Tetrick on Big Ranger. Again, for those of you that don't care or don't know, that's basically like the Irad brothers or Irad and Flavian, like throwing it down like the entire length of the stretch. It does not get any more exciting than that, even though it was 2 favorites. So we'll see what happened there. But I think it's Apex. They haven't actually. I turned the sound off, so I'm not sure yet. Let me put the sound back on. They're still looking at it.
Know, guys.
Wow.
All
right,
for win, 149-2, 26-3 home. What a tussle to the wire.
What a tussle.
Wow.
I mean, they're going to look at this really carefully. We'll let everyone know. Let's get back to when you guys find out, let me know. Let's get back to Saratoga because I know that's what most people are here for. But that was, I'm glad I played that. Look, Matt, even if you're not like a harness guy, and there's harness fans that are not thoroughbred guys, it's horse racing, man. It's competition. Oh, yeah. I mean, they just completely threw that down in a world record time for that race. And that's akin, Matt, to like going sub 108 in a 6 furlong race. That is absolutely flying. 149 change for trotters. Unbelievable.
Yeah, super cool. It's look, I think a lot of us actually I think a lot of us probably got our start that way. It's I don't know that many people go from thoroughbreds to harness. I think some do, but I think it's a whole bunch go in the opposite direction for sure. Howard, I'm looking down at my text saying that there's 90 minutes of traffic, so I am going to have to bolt from here. My pick in this next race is deterministic. No question about it. That's the one I'm looking for. So sorry, all I got to go. Katie, congratulations on Explorer. I'll get your email and we'll get you that Subway gift card. But to everybody else, good luck. And yeah, I'm sorry today was a short stay.
That's right. Hey, Matt, give me 5 seconds. Who you got in the Whitney? Who you got in the Whitney? I'll put you full screen.
Oh, that's magnitude for sure. I don't know that it's going to be in a contest because that'll be determined whether the contest requires a bet there. But if I'm betting the race, that's a stone cold single for me.
Wow. All right. Thanks for joining us for a short time, Matt, and good luck in your contest going forward. Enjoy your dinner. Take care.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. All right. Take care, Matt. All right. We do have Kyle Roscoe, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, coming on in about half an hour. And in fact, Kyle, if you're watching, I could actually, you know what, Andrew, do me a favor. Go ahead and text Kyle and ask him if he's willing to come on early because Matt had to leave. Tell him he doesn't have to. Like if he can, if he wants to, he can because Matt had to leave early. So as Andrew does that, let me go ahead and talk about the next race. Did we get a result at the Meadowlands, by the way? Let me see that.
Yeah, it was 3-4-1-10, I believe.
Okay, it's not a dead heat, so Apex did win. Yep. All right, thrilling. Apex, the number 3, who was very exciting horse race there, wins the Hambletonian. All right, the 4-star Dave is the next race up. Grade 1, second of the 4 grade 1s. Classic Q is scratched, the number 4. Right now, the current live odds favorite is, and a relatively heavy one, and I'm a bit surprised, to be honest, is the number 5, Deterministic, who's just a really damn cool horse. I think he's arguably the best. I think he's arguably the best one in the country. And Andrew, I'm going to bring you back on. I'm sort of multitasking. Paul needs the link for the show. So let me do this here, and I'll just let you talk in general. You can go through the horses in numeric order while I send an email to while I send an email to Mr. Halloran, who's going to join us from the paddock. If I can get that set up. So go and talk about this race a little bit, Andrew, while I go and email Paul. I'll leave myself on screen.
All good. Yeah, no, this is, the 4-star Dave. The only horse to ever win 8 years in a row at Saratoga, one of the best turf horses of all time. 100 starts in his career, and you don't see that often anymore, but this is a tough field, and there's a ton of speed. We'll start with the rail horse, which is now rated by Luis Saez because NYRA teases off his mounts due to an ankle injury. You get Will Walden as the trainer, Gary Barber as the owner. I mean, this horse has been nothing but the goods when it gets to the lead. I don't know if he'll get a lone lead, but if he gets to the front from the rail, he should be tough. Mibago is another one that is very good, and Chad Brown was talking earlier. After his horse won, I believe, the opening race with Grodor, or however you pronounce that name. I suck at names. And said that Mibago is a very good horse, and he's he thinks that horse is legit, and he thinks Zulu Kingdom is just as good, but he's definitely, he acted like he was afraid of Mibago a little bit, so that's good to know. Another one Gary Barber owns, but with Mark Cassie. Louis Saez, I guess, is not riding that one. I don't know who's riding the one, to be honest. But anyway, Zulu Kingdom, Pratt and Chad Brown, horse that won the
Franco,
Kelso
sorry,
last
it's
time.
Franco on the one, Andrew. Franco is replacing Iran.
I like that better, actually, to be honest, for rhetorical, because Franco is the hottest jockey in New York after that 6-win day yesterday.
He is hot.
But yeah, and then Pratt with Chad on Zulu Kingdom, horse is amazing. Always runs his race, even in the poker, which was a little bit upsetting, but he came back to win that Kelso in dead heat with Mibago, and then I believe, is Classic Q in the race, or did that horse scratch?
Classic Q is out. Cassie's running Mibago instead.
Okay, and then Deterministic, which is my favorite turf horse in training right now. It has been for quite a long time. Kendrick and Miguel are going for, I believe, 6 in a row now, and also won this race last year, and hopefully can duplicate that performance. A little bit easier a field this year when it comes to size, but it's very tough when it comes to speed, and that horse is a speed ball. But like Kendrick said yesterday in an interview, that he is just going to let Deterministic determine where he's going to go, and he's just going to try to point it into the winner's circle. So I like the confidence there. But this race really sets up for Capitol Hill if Capitol Hill can step up in class. Junior and Mott, they always team up well. I know we're a fan of the Alvarado team here on the show, so we will be definitely rooting for them. And if the horse can, run into a strong pace, I mean, this one definitely right there in the mix, just needs to step up a little bit on the speed numbers to really have a chance here. And then Laganos on the outside, it's kind of the same way as Capitol Hill. It needs a little bit of pace scenario. Jose Ortiz is probably the best turf jockey in the country right now, and also in these type of spots. Asmussen has, I believe, 2 or 3 wins on the card already. Jose Ortiz is the same way. At least maybe they added a couple more from last time I checked. But yeah, no, the 2 outside horses are the horses that are going to need to go to the front, and then the first 5 horses or 4 horses are going to be all speed. So it's a really weird dynamic and an interesting race to set up, and I'm hoping Deterministic can go back to back in the 4-star days.
They've got a fast pace here listed, and I think that's true. The reason why Mibago, people are wondering, why is Mibago such big odds? This has got to be a faster pace. He got away with murder last time. It really frustrated me. I was one of the more frustrating races, frankly, of the year, because it looked like there was more speed on paper, never developed. I mean, I know they're going to play the break, Andrew, but Mibago is going. Rhetorical is capable of being aggressive, although I think Manny would be very happy to sit the pocket. That's my vision. Deterministic and Kendrick's going to go, but I don't think he's like mile distance quick early. He's not like 22 and change. I think he'd be very happy sitting right off Mibago. To me, the question is, what does Zulu Kingdom do? And I've never been a big Zulu Kingdom fan. Full disclosure, I'm not using him. I played a big pick 6 today. I don't usually play pick 6s, but when in Rome and it's, Whitney Day, and I had some clever opinions later. I'm not using Zulu Kingdom, and he might burn me because he's good, but I've never been blown away with him. I think he's been winning because of circumstances. I think Deterministic is the better animal. I think Rhetorical, frankly, to me, is a better animal. And if they do go quick, my top pick is Laganos here. And I put this on the tip sheet. It's a spot play, Andrew. I've been trying to beat him several times before. All he does is win. Now, that being said, I don't know if you're going to agree with this statement. I honestly think he's probably the third or fourth most talented horse in this race. But assuming Jose can save some ground on the first turn, which I'm going to guess that he will, this is one of the best closes in the race. I think he's better than Capitol Hill, not by a lot, but a little bit. And I just have a ton of respect for a horse that loves to win. And I don't think this is like the best 4-star day we've seen like ever. There's some very good horses here, but there's no like absolute killers in this race. You think they're going to go quick. And I'm sort of hoping it falls apart because I've got Capitol Hill and Laganos in my pick 6 here, Andrew. What's your thoughts on Laganos, who's won 1, 2, 3? I mean, he's won 6 in a row, 5 in a row. He's won 5 in a row, and then in a second and a third. But you can make the argument he is not being the best mile to mile and 16 turf horses in the country.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's ducking any of the competition, but I mean, he was just a horse that was running in a different circuit, and I mean, he's winning the races that they put him in, and you can't knock that. I think Jose Ortiz has ridden this horse immaculately since joining the horse back at the at Fairgrounds at the top of the year, and I just like deterministic. I just think that these are good matches for jockey and horses, and you know, when a jockey really connects with a horse like this and wins this many times in a row, no matter the competition or the track, you gotta use it. It's just a horse that's in good form, and I mean 6 for 6 in the money or in the exacta this year with 5 wins. I mean, you can't beat that. It has the experience, and I just think that as long as the pace sets up, yeah, this horse is going to be live, and I'm definitely using it in my tickets.
We got Paul Halloran. I don't know if you can hear me, but he popped into the green room. Paul, if you can hear us, we're ready to bring you on. He just turned his camera off. Paul Halloran, ladies and gentlemen, is live at Saratoga, doing a great job for the Saratoga special. He actually wrote the preview today for the Whitney. I'm looking at the feed right now, and there's two things I've noticed. I'm sure Paul's going to talk about it. First of all, they have sealed the main track. We got Paul on. Paul Halloran live at Saratoga. Let me make this a little bit bigger there. Paul, let me unmute you too. There you go. Paul, how you doing, my friend? Live from the Saratoga paddock.
I hate to have to give you a weather report, but it just started to rain.
It looks like I'm looking at the feed, Paul, and obviously take care of yourself if it starts getting bad. They have sealed the track, which is good, obviously. We are looking at the radar. I was looking at it a little while ago. It looks like the worst of it might move a little bit south, but you're definitely going to get clipped. And it looked like the worst is still about 15 to 20 minutes away. So this race coming up should be okay on the turf. The rest of the races, I don't think they're really in question, but you're definitely going to get some rain, Paul, but not like torrential downpour for like an hour. I think it's going to pass through for lucky, but it will rain, it looks like, the next half an hour.
Yeah, I'm looking to the west, toward your neighborhood, and it's actually bright over there. It's pretty good.
Okay, he's dealing with.
It's been an odd day. It's gotten dark a few times, and the sun came back out. Now I think we are going to get some rain, and I'm under a big tree in the attic, so I'll stick as long as I can.
Well, lightning has never hit a tree, so.
Yeah, you got to get through this one and the next one, right? The Saratoga Derby.
Real quick, Paul, does it look like it's moving south? Like, does it look worse to the south if you know the directions out there?
It looks worse to the south and east. Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the 4-star day. Well, first of all, we got 5 minutes to post. Tell us about the atmosphere. Looks like a great crowd. Pletcher is still trying to get number 6,000. We've seen a lot of thrilling races. Explora, who is a horse I've been always a little bit against, looks like she might be a Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint threat now, Paul. That was really impressive. Although I guess you can question who she beat.
Yeah, I was wrong about that race, but that doesn't make it any different than virtually every other race the last 5 days. She got the trip. I like the one, and knew I was dead. It's really hard to go gate to wire from the rail 7 furlongs is really difficult.
Yeah.
I kind of looked at that one as getting a trip, being a little forward, but certainly not in the lead. And and Explorer got the perfect trip, and she looked really good. And it seems like that's her sweet spot, seven furlongs, which of course the Philly Mare Sprint is run at 7 furlongs. The atmosphere is great. The atmosphere is really good. It's a lot of people in town. The yearlings are in town for the sales. I'll be heading over there tomorrow to visit the 10 Cody's Wish yearlings that are in the sale. And it's the town's alive.
I'm sure it is. By the way, movie night did stumble just a little bit out of the gate, Paul, and that didn't help. I'm looking at the feed. It looks like it's raining a little more. I don't know if you can tell or not.
Yeah, it's
What's
steady.
Your thoughts here?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts here in the 4-star Dave? I don't think the turf's not going to change in a matter of a few minutes here. I'm a little bit keen on Laganos, although he's going to have to run the race of his life. Are you surprised deterministic is 8-5? I'm a little surprised he's that low.
I guess, but he's just clearly on paper the class. By the way, you got the Forged Steel scratch, right?
Yes.
The late Forged Steel scratch. He said all week he was going to scratch him, and I wondered, does that put Micah Husbands on White Barrio?
Well, I don't know, but I haven't heard that announcement yet. What's amazing?
Not a lot left in the room.
By the way, Timothy Snell said you're looking very dapper today, Paul. But that's the norm for you. So
I'm going to be looking very. I'm going to be looking very wet if I don't figure out a plan here. Howard, I got to. Well, actually, if I could stay under this tree, I might be okay. It's pouring, by the way.
Go ahead, Andrew. Hold on, Paul. Andrew?
Before the last race, they were announcing the changes, and they said they were still waiting on the Whitney mount change for IRAD. So maybe they don't have that many options, and Micah might have to ride it. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's just waiting on the rain.
Forged Steel was not scratched until relatively recently, right?
Well, what's amazing is Safi was going to. We have plenty of time to talk about this. I rather prefer to talk about the 4-star day, but anyway, since we are discussing it, the amazing thing was Safi was going to scratch White Barrio if the track can come up wet. And now, there's still a lot of time to the race, Paul, but to say this to be perfectly dry is probably not going to happen.
No.
So I guess Safi made a decision a little bit too early, or people make fun of the weather. If he just had a radar, Paul, he might have known.
Yeah, well, it is interesting to see, because he said absolutely that horse would not run on a wet track, and it is going to be a wet track. I have to move, Howard, because I'm getting wet.
Yeah, go ahead and move.
I'll pop back on when I get to dry land. How's that?
Okay, it should be going through, by the way, pretty quickly, Paul. I'm looking at the radar. It's not going to rain much longer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Get back to us.
I'll hop back on.
Yeah. I'm looking at the radar right now. We're live here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I see the rain that's going through. To be honest, the worst of it did move south. And what time is it? It's going to be ending. It's going to end in the next 10 minutes. So we might get lucky. It might be just this rain shower that we see right now on screen. This will not change. They're going to the gates. Let me go ahead and put on the sound. We don't hear anything from Miramati yet, so let me double check when the sound comes on. Let me know here. They're going in. The one is just entered the gate, so we should hear sound from Miramati very soon.
The one does not look like he likes the rain at all.
We hear that? You heard that?
Yeah, we're good. Mm-hmm.
All right. 4-star Dave in the rain showers at Saratoga, race 10, grade 1. Good luck, everyone. I'm going to take a chance with Laganos. Who do you like? You're going to deterministic, correct?
Yep, deterministic, and I got the box 157 for an exacta.
Again, it's barely started raining. It's not going to affect the turf course at all. Might make it a little slippery on top, which is not ideal, but here we go.
They're in the gate.
Oh, boy. Rhetorical's acting up behind the gate. Is that what you're...
Yeah, going into the gate, it looked like he did not like the rain at all. He was tossing his head a lot.
Out of there. He has been
he is really acting up.
Let's go back
Gosh
down to
darn
the
it.
feed. He has been acting like this since they were out on the track warming up.
I don't know if it's the rain or what. The rider Manny's off.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
just ducked Manny
we
pretty
don't know
good
if
right
he
there.
doesn't
Luckily,
like
Manny
the
got on
rain. I
his
mean,
feet.
we don't know. Here we go.
All set. And they're off in the 4-star Dave, and Mibago is very fast away from the gate. Deterministic will go right with him, and behind that, Zulu Kingdom is in third.
Zulu's getting a
Laginos
dream trip.
is close to the
So
pace.
is
He's fourth
Deterministic.
and only 3
Right
lengths off
where
them.
we thought he'd
Another
be,
2
right?
back to Rhetorical. And
Yeah, second place is perfect for him right there.
Bago has one way to go, and that's on the front end. He leads it by a length and a half. Deterministic is tracking him well. The opening quarter went in 24 1/5
Moderate.
seconds. Bago 3 parts of a length.
To slow for these.
Deterministic is second, with Zulu Kingdom tugging at Flavian Pratt from third. Laginos just outside of him. Rhetorical is at the back with Capitol Hill. Continuing down the back stretch, the half mile now for Bago has been put behind them in 48
Kendrick better stay on top of Mibago, I tell you that.
Still in that
he is,
second
but
position. These two starting
this is
to
relatively
separate a bit.
slow. I don't see the
Laginos
closers
side
winning,
by
Andrew.
side on the outside of Zulu
Well,
Kingdom
we'll see.
and Rhetorical at Capitol Hill. That's been the running order throughout. Bago, Deterministic, called on now to close the gap. He's within a half length of him. Zulu Kingdom on the inside, and Laginos there at the top of the stretch. Bago digging in on the inside. Zulu Kingdom's looking for a spot. Deterministic is right there. Then Laginos, Deterministic
Get him up, Kendrick.
rouse to the lead with a
Give
16.
me a 5-7.
Bago fighting hard,
Come on,
but
Kendrick.
cannot go.
Come on, Kendrick. There you go.
There you
Winner
go,
of the
Kendrick.
There you go.
There you go.
Deterministic wins
There we go.
easily.
What
Bago
a horse.
second, and it was a 3-way battle for third among Zulu Kingdom, a flying Rhetorical, and Laginos.
This is such a good horse. And Miguel Clement
Mhm.
has just done an unbelievable job with this horse. And Kendrick, who actually, fortunately, the rail didn't open up. Actually, it did open up a little bit, but then it got a little bit tight as Kendrick made his move. Zulu tried to get out. He did get out at some point. Laginos just wasn't good enough. It's very close for, I think Nibaga actually held on for second. I think it's 5-2-3. The Southernist was flying late. Yeah. Basically 5-2-3 all the way around the track, Andrew, as the pace just didn't quite develop. 135 and change on a track that I would say had a little bit of moisture in it. This is a really, really good horse who's versatile. I suppose you could say he's even underrated, Andrew. Deterministic. Congratulations to Kendrick and Miguel, who won a race yesterday on Hall of Fame Day to celebrate his father's induction, who unfortunately passed away. What a nice double, the Hall of Fame and then the 4-star Dave.
Yeah, and he debuted that really good horse Oscar earlier today too,
Yep.
which I think was pretty nice. But
Sure
no, perfect ride by Kendrick. Perfect training job by Clement. They know what to do with this horse. Anything from a mile to a mile and an eighth, and this horse is just the goods, I think, right now in this division. So, hope this horse can keep winning, and we'll see it probably around Breeders' Cup time. I would say, hopefully, right?
The weird thing is, I don't think a mile's his best distance. But I'm not sure a mile and 3/8 is the best distance either, which would be the distance. Or sorry, a mile and a half. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
There is an objection, by the way, on Zulu Kingdom for coming out into Rhetorical, but it's going to stay 5-2 for sure. The question is it 5-2-3 or 5-2-1? Put in the chat, what do you do with Deterministic in the fall? I mean, he's not beating Euros going a mile and a half. I'm sorry. They're showing the. Well, actually, they're showing the. Here's the head on here is the Zulu Kingdom
Came out on Laginos
tried to come out, and we'll see. I think he's going to go to the mile, if I had to guess. I don't really know if either one are his best distances. We're watching the. I'm watching the. I'm watching the head on here. Oh, he definitely came over and created some space.
Yeah, unless he's claiming. I mean, I don't know if he's the one claiming foul on the 2 or because like the 2 kind
No,
of cut him off a little bit, but he more so came out on the 1 and the 7. The 1 probably without throwing his head in the beginning of the race, the 1 probably makes a huge run at the end. I mean, he got kind of tired before the race, but I mean that was a big effort by Rhetorical there.
you think? Okay.
I think so. I think Rhetorical ran huge there. Despite the circumstances, I mean, did not look happy going to the gate. Tossed the jockey a couple times. Backed out, backed in. That's a lot of stress right there. And then still gets kind of slammed and only loses second place by maybe a length and a half.
I'm not really sure what they're going to do because he did come out, but it wasn't like dramatic. I don't like when jocks like create holes that are not there. He definitely came over on him, and it was very
I
close
think
for
he could have
third.
stayed on the rail though. I mean,
I'd like to see him come down because I just don't like that kind of move, Andrew. But it's not like Rhetorical was flying either. What do
right.
you think? I have no dog in this fight. Do you think Zulu King should come down? Put in the chat what you think, ladies and gentlemen.
I think I don't think it's gonna come down, but I just
No?
think
Okay.
Pratt lately has just been, I don't know. There's been some confusing rides he's had the last couple days, and this one seems like another one where he was kind of overthinking it and maybe caused a little bit too much trouble for his horse. Whereas maybe if he kind of just didn't go up the rail originally, he kind of gets the jump. He might even been second easily. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything's gonna happen here. NYRA's tough though. You never know what they're gonna do. If it was Delmar, I would say this horse stays up no matter what. But
Well, what's tricky is the rail was like a half a path open. Like if he actually tried to
right.
shoot there, Andrew, he could have easily gone over the rail. Like that would have been, or he would
Mm,
have had to scrape paint. So I
yeah,
understand why. I understand why he didn't do that. I would have. Look, I'm not as brave as these guys, but
me
I would have
either.
not tried to come through the rail either. Right at the wire says very unsafe, especially in the rain. Well, look, they don't.
Yeah,
All due respect,
they
right
don't
at the wire, they don't
matter.
care if it's raining or if it's
Yeah,
sunny. That really has nothing to do with it.
they don't factor that in, but it
Um,
does make sense.
I don't know. Let's see what JR says. Flavian should have tried to push through, but he's a pro and knows. I'm assuming JR said push through the rail. I don't think the rail was really there, to be honest. Mibago just came over just a slight amount.
Yeah, and Mibago had so much worse left still with the way the track was playing there.
I'm,
I don't think the 2 would have faded out enough for the 3 to have a rail open there. So
Andrew,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Is right the wire
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
that?
I told you it's not. It's Brad
Oh,
that's claiming foul on Mibago.
okay.
That's what I thought
Right
it
the
was at
wire.
first too.
Right the wire says Zulu should have won. Question mark. Are you serious? I'm not sure what right the wire means by that. I think he's saying right at the wire. I think he's saying
Oh, JR
Zulu
said.
Kingdom wouldn't have won no matter what. Is that what he's saying?
Well, JR said 2 comments above him that Zulu should have won. So maybe he was responding to that. I don't know, but
Oh no, Zulu wasn't winning that race even if he came through. I don't
no,
think.
no.
I don't
Deterministic
think
got
he
the
had
jump
the
on
horse.
everybody.
I think Deterministic's winning that race no matter what.
It would have been. I think it would have been 5-3 if the 3 stayed in the rail and it opened up, but I don't think the 3 would have got to the 5 at all. Not on this track. Not with the way Deterministic got the jump on everybody.
So Mibago came over.
A little bit.
Yeah, boy, this is a really tough call. Again, I have no skin in the.
It's going to take 20 minutes for them to determine this anyway.
I don't really care. Mibago did come over.
A little bit.
Would you say a half a path would be fair?
Yeah, but I don't think it's anything to, write home about. But it's definitely there.
Hey, Andrew, we got Paul back on here. Paul, first of all, what's the rain situation?
Well, it stopped for a few minutes.
I think you're going to be okay, Paul. I think it's going to be okay the rest of the day, knock on wood.
Yeah, it's appreciably brighter than it was 3 minutes ago.
Okay.
So that's good.
Paul, how good is Kendrick on this horse? I mean, what a perfect ride.
Wow.
He's really good. We're watching the head on and the pan. Do you think Mibago should come down, Paul?
You know what, Howard? I'd have to watch it again. I haven't seen the. I have not seen the head on.
What's your thoughts on Deterministic? We are debating, Paul. It's weird because he's one of the best horses in the country, if not the best horse in the country. I guess Bourbon Square folks are going to push back on that, and that's fine. I think Deterministic is better, but that's just my opinion. I don't know if a mile is his best distance, Paul, but I don't think a mile and a half is his best distance either. What do you do with him? Where do you think he might go in the Breeders' Cup if he goes there?
That's a good question. I know Miguel is pretty confident in him at all distances, a mile up to a mile and a half. I don't think he believes it makes a big difference.
Okay.
You might look at fields. Obviously, you're going to get, an invasion of Euros in both of them. I guess I'd maybe lean to the mile because I think he can be more tactical and, as opposed to trying to take a mile and a half field, if not wire to wire, almost wire to wire. But who knows? Who knows what he's going to do? He could, but I would assume he's going to one of them.
I don't think he's world class and can win that race, Paul. I know we're jumping the gun a little bit because it's still a few months away. I like to see him in the mile. I think that would be his best shot to me.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I just said. Yeah, if I
I
had to
agree,
pick
yeah.
one, but boy, I'll tell you, he is honest, boy. He shows up
He really
every
is.
time, and he, to win at the distances, the range of distances he won at, and that was not a bad field. It wasn't a tremendous field, but it wasn't a bad field. So, well, he's in the mile. He's in the mile, all expenses paid right now. So that's a win you're in.
You picked rhetorical. You were high, and by the way, we are going to go to Woodbine race 9 here in a second, Andrew. So if you want a quick comment in a second, you were on rhetorical, Paul. He was really acting up. I don't know if it was the rain or whatever it was. He was going nuts so behind the gate, and then he didn't break great. Just it didn't work out for him. He's talented. Today wasn't his day. I still like him a lot. Today was not his day.
Yeah, he was like that in the paddock, although that is him, by the way. He's kind of a bad actor. But, and Manny having to get on, Manny had about 1 hour to figure out how to ride. Not that he ran fine. I had to bet him because I really liked him, but I didn't have a ton of confidence going into the race. So fortunately, I moved deterministic up a little bit. Originally, I was just going to try to beat deterministic, but I said, don't be stupid. Just don't be moronic. So, I'm outside here. I'm out from under the tree. I will tell you, the sky to the east is pretty dark. So I don't know where the wind's going. Hopefully, it's not coming over.
That's okay. Everything's coming from the west, Paul. So,
good.
Paul, we're going to let you go because we got actually Woodbine's off right now. Let's show the race, Andrew. Race 9. Here we go, guys. Woodbine.
And out in front is Bossy Candy as they come to the turn out the stretch. And Bold Time is over on the inside as they take the turn. Glitter and Glow's moved up, and off the rails goes Piper's Gift. Trailer by a length is Katie's Grace. Out in the lead, Bossy Candy shows the way. That a length clear. In second placing is Glitter and Glow. Racing third, Bold Time on the inside. In the clear, length behind them, Piper's Gift. And 1.5 to Katie's Grace at the back. 5 lengths at best, first to last. Bossy Candy rules early by 3/4, coming forward, Glitter and Glow. On the inside, Bold Time, pretty relaxed on the in third, is coming to join. And a length and a half, Piper's Gift tracks the trio. And last is Katie's Grace. That's the running order as they come towards the half mile. 48 and 3 the first half in the Bison City, and Bossy Candy in front. On the inside, Bold Time, the outer, Glitter and Glow. Length and a half away, Piper's Gift relaxed in behind them, and Katie's Grace the rail. They swing off the turn, 3/8 left to run, and Bossy Candy still in front. Over a length to Glitter and Glow and Bold Time. A move coming. Piper's Gift's getting to work.
No excuses, Andrew.
Coming around the outside, 3 wide.
Yeah, I'm hoping this one can keep going.
Says it's time to take a move here, but in front.
The only horse I was going to use is the 5 as my second choice.
I'd worry about the 3 if he gets through.
Candy, Piper's Gift, and down the
nah,
outside,
he's not. Didn't have it.
Run past Piper's Gift. Bold Time the rail, and here comes Katie's.
One's flat too.
Katie's Grace on the outside.
Katie.
The lead in the Bison.
Yeah, 2 made sense too. That was a tough race. That was a race I had a single in because.
Off to win. Ryan Munger, Katie's Grace, almost 2 lengths.
What a ride!
Bold Time, third boss.
Oh well, no big deal.
Long last, Glow.
We only spent 15 there anyway, so it's no big deal.
It's Katie, guy. It's her birthday. She had a win bet on Explora. The number 2 is what Katie's Grace just won at Woodbine in the Bison City. It's all about Katie today, as we're joined by my good friend and host of Ben and Boozin from what's the name of the place? I'm sorry, Kyle, I forgot. It's escaping me.
The Bayside Bunker. Come on.
The Bayside Bunker. Kyle Rossi, you can turn the sound up just a little bit if you'd like. I know we had it's a little quiet, but it's all good. We'll get it going, Kyle. I know it was a little quiet on the show last time. Kyle figured it out. Kyle, Bayside Bunker, how hot is it there? How you doing today?
Sitting at the pool, it's absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't
All right.
be more happy about it. But no, all good. Had a nice day out at the pool with Emma and ready to hopefully catch some winners. With this next race at Saratoga will be the whole day for me, basically. So
Wow. All right. Well, we got Paul in the paddock there. Paul, do I see blue sky above you? Typical Saratoga.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it is typical Saratoga. Just if you don't like the weather, just wait. So that's fine.
Paul, it didn't rain enough where they're going to take races off the turf after
Okay,
this
on
one,
the
are they?
dirt,
Because there is
I haven't-
another.
I'm looking for a
there-
video. Uh, Video of the dirt because this race is on the turf. So we have a long time to the Whitney. I think on what's it 6:37 or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
and they
this
seal the
is a
track,
good
Paul.
race. Yeah,
They seal the
that's
track.
good.
They seal the track. I think it could be fast for the Whitney, no? Because they sealed the track and the sun's coming out now.
Love some puddles. I'd love some puddles sitting right on top of it, like they were at Churchill on Derby Day last year. So
Right.
that's what I'm hoping for.
All right, Paul, why don't you go ahead and go over and take a look at the horses in the paddock and give us a little bit of information in about 10 minutes for the Saratoga Derby. Really, I think the most competitive race of the entire day, frankly. A very difficult race. And now the turf has a little bit of moisture in it, which I suppose you could argue would help the Euros, but we'll see. Remember Mamba 8-5, Paul, opening up as the favorite. All right, Paul froze up there. Let me take Paul off the screen there. Kyle, let me put us on. Let's go that way with our views. How's your day going, my friend? I know this is a big race for you. I'm trying to remember what you put out on X. I think you're all about Remember Mamba. Is that correct here then?
yeah, the whole I've lost everything else today, but this is the
Okay.
the horse that decides my whole day. Tried to play against Deterministic, obviously the wrong choice. But is what it is. I feel like at this point I just have to play against the horse till the cows come home because once the horse does lose, I will get paid. But seems like whenever I'm with him, he loses early in his career, and now I've been against him almost every time, and he just stuffs me in a locker. So that's my own fault. But yeah, remember Mamba. I think the extra added distance. We'll talk about it here in a little bit too. But yeah, this is the whole crux of the day right here.
Let me ask you a question, Kyle, and then we will. Actually, we're going to play the audio for Del Mar Race 2. And our good friend Noah Maher put in the chat, he has a strong opinion in this race. I don't recall if it's a spot play for him or not. I'm trying to find his chat comment, but I know he likes the 2 quite a bit. So Noah Maher at Del Mar likes the 2 Hannah Buckle in the next race coming up, who is 2-1. Quick question for you, Kyle, on Deterministic. Breeders' Cup Mile, Breeders' Cup Turf going 1.5 miles, or neither? The problem is I'm not sure either one of those distances are really his best. And I personally don't think he's world class either one of those distances. I suppose they could skip it too. They did not run the Breeders' Cup last year, but he's in such good form right now. You have to believe Miguel is going to point to one of those races, don't you think?
I mean, gosh, if the horse has won how many graded stakes? 4, 4 out of 5 the last grade ones. There's only one logical standpoint, but always the question is because realistically, what's his best for distance? Probably 9 panels, realistically speaking?
I think so, yeah.
At 1.1 miles. So the real question is, where do you go? I mean, he has run very well at 1 3/8 miles before. The 1 3/16 in the Manhattan was no issue for him, but that is a question. I think it might depend on, Euros and all the other stuff that always comes over for Breeders' Cup Day. I think they would probably lean towards a mile, just because of also how well he ran, right there. Mile's probably the more realistic thing, but again,
I agree.
He has run well at the 3/8, so who knows?
They could rest him up and run him in the 1.8 mile Pegasus World Cup, also turf. But Miguel's not a huge fan of Gulfstream, like in general. I mean, he doesn't dislike it, but just anyway. Race 2 at Del Mar, guys. Let's bring up the sound.
With love,
Larry Comus with the call. Noah's going with the 2 Hannah Buckle. I like the 1 or the 2. I think it's one of the 2 inside horses. This is a claiming race on the turf, optional claiming.
Hey, little lady coming up to the outside.
Good luck to everyone at Del Mar Race 2.
All in line. They're off. Eternal Rain hopped in the air just a bit at the start. Nicolina, Wildfire Princess out to the front together. Halo Lady is next, and Eternal Rain is caught in behind horses as they race past the stands. Hannah Buckle is next, and then alongside of her is Sunset Grazin. The two trailers, Anyway the Wind Blows and With Love, as they make their way into that turn. And it's Wildfire Princess sent to the lead by Mike Smith, opening up the lead by 2 lengths to the backstretch. With Nicolina running in second position. And that it's Halo Lady on the outside in third. A length farther back to Eternal Rain fourth. She's now 7 lengths off the lead.
If Hannah
Clear
Buckle
Sunset
wins from
Grazin
here,
and
she's
Hannah
tons the
Buckle.
best.
With Love is second last. Anyway, the Wind Blows trails to a 23.51 quarter for Isolated Wildfire Princess, who's opened up 5 lengths on the field up the backstretch. Nicolina second through a 46.11 half mile. And then a break of another 2 to Eternal Rain, who races inside of Halo Lady, moving into the turn. These two are still 8 lengths behind around that turn. In behind them, Hannah Buckle is next, and then Sunset Grazin.
Would love the 3 clutches for, man.
It's a 5-length advantage as they come to the top of the stretch. Mike Smith and Wildfire Princess off the turn in front, trying to keep this lead, but the strides are shortening. Nicolina cutting into it in second. Hannah Buckle is putting it around on the outside. Halo Lady is in between. To Hannah Buckle and Halo Lady that go on by. And Hannah Buckle and Armando Ayuso have it won. Halo Lady was second, then a photo that may have gone to With Love over Eternal Rain, followed by Nicolina.
Noah Maher with the call on Hannah Buckle. Nice job, Noah, with the 2. Definitely the class of the race. That would be a crush for Noah Maher. Nice call, Noah. Hopefully he had a nice win bet on Hannah Buckle at 2-1. Hey Little Lady at 12-1 finishes second. I've done something that I've not done in a very long time, Andrew. I'm sort of firing today. I start school Monday. This is my last sort of summer hurrah. I actually played a place all bet at Del Mar today, and I am alive, so that's just having some fun. See if I can get paid there. Hannah Buckle wins race 2. All right, Kyle, let's get to the Saratoga Derby, the third of the 3 grade 1s. Let me go ahead and do some adjustments here, and I will go ahead and bring up on the screen the field, and Kyle will let you talk through it. First of all, the turf, I actually got Paul. Paul, is the turf still listed firm that you can see? Paul, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm looking at the screen to see.
No
I think so far, yes.
Okay. Kyle, I don't think it's firm. They were kicking up clods. It's more like good. Let's go through the field, Kyle. Glavin, for all you fans of the Atlanta Braves in baseball, 15-1 was cross-entered, decides to go here. Here's Johnny, 7-1, came from the clouds last time. I know this was a horse that Charlie Freeman has always liked for Ray Handel, won at bomb odds last time. Remember Mamba, 8-5 for Cherie, a very close third. This is a really good closer, probably the best closer in the race. Title Roll, who won the Belmont Derby last time, is 7-2. Glacius coming in from Europe, who you would have to think the soft turf helps at least a little bit, is 12-1 for Hugo Palmer and Saez. I don't think he's completely out of it. The Big Con is a fascinating horse for me for Clement, who, by the way, has not run since November, but beat Silent Tactic at Woodbine way back in November and has been training with Deterministic, Kyle. Big Con is my long shot of this race. Maybe they're going to be aggressive with him. Could maybe pull a shocking wire job. Wouldn't shock me. McCready is a long shot, 23. And then West End Kid, a horse that I've been a big fan of all along, who did very well for me at Keeneland and helped me in the grade 1 gamble finish with a nice score there at 3-1. Kyle, let me bring up the PPs. Let's start with your top choice and the favorite right now. Remember Mamba. My only concern really with this horse is not talent, it's not distance. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of pace in this race.
Yeah, that is the one true question, right? But you can go back early. I mean, it was at a mile, but he was actually decently close. But the question is, title roll between that, will title roll just kind of get the same easy trip he got last time? West End Kid will also be close, so that is absolutely a genuine concern. But I think the extra half panel is exactly what this horse needs. That mile and 3/16 I feel like is exactly what this horse wants to do. Kitten's Joy by Uncle Mo screams the longer they go, the better this horse will get. You'll see it on the screen right now. He was closing like a train last time. Even when they went a slower pace last time too, they went 49 and 113 flat. He was still coming, and I think the extra 16th of a mile gives this horse exactly what this horse needs to finish on top today.
Let's show this stretch here, Kyle. I'm going to freeze it at a certain point. It's very important. There are a lot of horses in this race. This is the last race, the Belmont Derby. So you've got Title Roll, who wins this race. Let me freeze it right about here. Title Roll, who wins this race, who's the 4 today, gets the jump on everyone, wins. Right behind him is West End Kid there in the blue. And then your horse in the CRK silks, the purple and yellow. Remember Mamba. Remember Mamba, Kyle. The other thing that bothers me just a little bit, and I have no problem with your pick. I'm using him, obviously. He's a little bit late to lead change, a little bit goofy in the stretch, and I'm not fully convinced he wants longer. I'd love to hear what Paul has to say when he sees them in the paddock. I know the breeding, Kyle says he wants longer, and he's a closer, but I thought he idled here a little bit. Maybe he was just too far back. I don't like the fact that he was not really gaining in the last like 50 yards. I might be nitpicking though, Kyle. So I could be very wrong here, but talk about the stretch run.
Everyone got a good trip, right? That's the number one thing. No one really got a bad trip out of the top 3 that are coming back into here. Title Roll was just to the outside. He was a little goofy, Howard. I think you're right that he kind of switched out, and once he finally kicked it into the gear, he was good. I think he was gaining, honestly, in the last, 50 yards. Just West End Kid was also gaining as well, who also got the jump on him a little bit. I mean, you can see they're galloping out together there between the 8 and the 3.
They are.
I am honestly thinking that the extra 16th of a mile is going to be perfect. We'll see what happens, but the pace, I think, is going to be the true key factor in here.
Yeah, I think the key here, and there's a nice picture there at the end. Again, Title Roll, West End Kid, remember Mamba. I think they're the top 3 in the wagering right now. Before I go to Paul, is it as simple as that, Kyle? Would you be shocked if someone other than those 3 wins this race?
Unless the Euro is that good, I really think it's a true race between. I think it's a rematch of the Belmont Derby last time.
Okay.
I think they're the top 3-year-olds on the turf right now in the country. And I think that's simple as that.
It's also fair to mention that he did run on good turf at the Transylvania and won. And I'd say this turf is good. Paul, what do you see in the paddock, my friend? Why don't you go ahead and give us a report?
Yeah, Kyle's horse looks good. Jockeys are just coming out. There's our friend Junior walking out. I will tell you. Hold on. I thought that was I read. That's fine.
Feel free to turn the camera if you like, Paul, on the horses. Completely up to you.
I will tell you that if you want Miguel Clement's handicapping, I covered the race yesterday that Bottas won, and he said he was torn between these 2 races. He does think Bottas could go longer and could have got this mile and 3/16, but he thought that there were 2 horses in this race to worry about. Remember Mamba and West End Kid, and he thought there was 1 to worry about in the race yesterday, Touch of Fire, who got one of the worst trips of all, pretty much of the meet.
Did he talk about the big con, why they picked this spot, Paul? Did he talk about his horse at all?
No, he just talked about the placement of Bottas, and it's logical to think, anytime you have a chance to separate 2, you separate. I agree with you. I covered the race 2 races back when he won the Pennine Ridge, and I will say he ran better than I thought he was going to do off that win. He ran really well last time. As you guys said, we'll see what develops with pace going this distance. It's not, as it's not always longer distances equals closers. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think this horse is really interesting, Andrew. I don't know if the big con, look, he could have picked a lot of spots for this horse, Miguel, right, Andrew? I watched the gray. I know that was November. I don't know where he's been. I don't know the story. I didn't have a chance to talk to Miguel because it's Hall of Fame weekend. I didn't want to bother him, obviously. He beat Silent Tactic fair and square in November. This is a big mofo. This is a big horse. I don't know how he's going to handle the soft turf. It looks like he can run all day. He worked very well deterministic. And Miguel's not one to just throw a horse in there, Andrew. I have no idea how this horse is going to run, but I'm interested in him. I'm going to play him underneath in some tries. I actually used him in the pick 6, Andrew, because if he wins, it's going to blow that thing up.
Yeah, I mean, look, I am not that huge of a fan of the 7 in this spot, but you guys are making really good cases for him. So I definitely am, I must have overlooked it a little bit. The light form now as it run as a 3-year-old and it's August now is definitely not a sign I like. But when it comes to Coleman, I mean he's good at these things. So personally, I think the 6 horse is the one that's getting overlooked a little bit here.
I used him too.
Yeah, I'm right now. I have the 6 to win in place, and I boxed the 3, 6, and the 10. So I'm thinking the 6 is look. You get Saez. Hugo Palmer's not going to come over here if you didn't like the horse. You get.
Can you read what Hot Rod Horse Player says at the bottom, Andrew?
Yeah, no, I agree. The Arrows are coming over here to win. They're not coming over here to run second or third, and they have the form overseas that carries over here. I mean, the time form alone is going 104, 106.
No doubt.
Which is really good. So, and there's a little bit of kickback. This horse is running on good, fast, and good. So that means he likes a little bit of moisture, but not too much moisture.
Yeah.
And I just think this is a good spot for the horse. A little bit of Australian breeding, Irish breeding, Great Britain breeding. All 3 breedings, which are probably better than American breeding. So, I think the 6 is the price play here.
Hey, Paul, do you see Glacius in the paddock there? Any thoughts on him?
Look good go by. I don't know if he.
Okay. Again, we're having typical track internet issues with Paul. Sorry, Paul, you're going in and out.
Kid would win, and you get Pratt too. So should be a good race, Howard. I got to cover.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Paul. All right, we'll take Paul off the screen. Typical track internet, Kyle. We know how that goes. Let's talk about Glacius for just a minute for people that don't know about him. I watched his last 2 races. The Hampton Court is a Group 3. It's a nice race at Ascot during the Royal Ascot Meet, guys. It's not like the premier 3-year-old race, but it's like, I guess it's like the Curlin Stakes. You know what I mean? It's like the lower end of the group horses in the biggest meet of the year at Ascot. He ran perfectly well. He was coming from the back. It was a relatively small field. And then to the Gala Stakes, guys, last time at Sandown, he made a bit of a non-threatening run. However, Persica, the second place finisher, came back and won, Andrew and Kyle, and that was older horses. And I like the fact that Saez is here. I don't know if that means he's going to be aggressive on this horse. By time form, guys, like Andrew said, he's at 106, 107 time form. And Kyle, what I've noticed is that the Euro time form numbers are a little bit lower than ours. If that is accurate, and that's true, that puts this horse squarely in the mix. Now, I don't know about coming from behind in a race that's paceless, but I'm not going to sleep on this horse. I actually used him in my pick 6 also. Kyle, I went very deep here. I'm sure you're correct. It's probably 3, 4, or 10. But are we just saying it's 3, 4, or 10 because those are the horses that ran last time? I mean, there are some fresh faces in here, and I don't think anyone lays over this field. I don't know. This is a very tough race to me. Very tough.
And like I said, there's absolutely, and that's, if you have an opinion, trust it. If you don't, a lot of people might just skip this race because they don't have the strongest opinion because it does feel that wide open. I mean, even Mr. Tom Glavine in the 1 isn't necessarily that far out of it either. I mean, he ran 3/4 behind Tahir's Johnny last time, but in the Pennine Ridge, he was a length and 3/4 behind West End Kid. I mean, and he lost by a nose to Bottas, who came back yesterday and won that race. So I don't think the 1 is necessarily that far out of it either. And he has a tendency to sit a little bit closer, and he's 15 to 1. So go ahead, Andrew, please.
And it's Kendrick who's going to be. He'll be forward a little bit too. Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, just an update on White Barrio. Micah Husbands is riding it in the Whitney. David Grenning posted it 12 minutes ago. That's all.
Okay, so Micah Husbands on White Barrio, a horse I didn't like anyway in this race. Guys, I'm going to I know we got plenty of time before the Whitney. Based on what I know what the weather was, they sealed the track. They're obviously going to unseal it, Kyle. In fact, they've probably already done it. I gotta believe it's gonna be fast for the Whitney. It didn't look like it rained that much, and they sealed it, and now the sun's on it. I mean, it's not gonna be sloppy. It might be good, but I think it's gonna be fair. We don't know, but that's my guess, Kyle. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, and we'll see what happens when they harrow out the track. It might even be
Yeah.
perfectly fine because I know a lot of the times when they run these, they usually don't harrow the track right until they run on it because they seal it after the race. I'm pretty sure if they're known to have rain. So we'll see what ends up coming on. I see a lot of people on the 7 in here. Hot Rod Horse Player also mentioned that. Anthony Kwan, a name I haven't seen before, also is on the 7. So lots of people on the 7 at
Well-
12-1, and that would be a fantastic price, obviously, for all of you guys.
Anthony mentioned Walden. I'm not sure what he means by that because this was
I think he's talking
telegraphed.
about the 10 taking blinkers off.
Okay,
as
so
well.
he got the numbers
A little bit of
confused.
both. Yeah.
Anthony likes the 10, but some people do like the 7. I might play the 7 just a little bit underneath. By the way, Chris said you're very quiet,
I know.
Kyle.
I was
I
just
don't.
gonna say I'm working on.
Yeah, we're working on it, guys.
Trying to
Okay,
stay
we
as
got
close to my
Philippe
mic
from
as
the
I
Bay. We
can.
got a lot of people here. Hot Rod Horse Player. We have almost 500 people watching, guys, right now live all over the world. So thank you very much. Let's just reset the scene here, guys. HHH Racing Podcast, Weekend Warrior Show. Kyle Roscoe, Andrew Rosinski, covering races live here. We have 2 more grade 1s at Saratoga. We're also showing the races at Woodbine. We will show the next Woodbine race, which is in 10 minutes, and it's a stake. It's the Niagara on the turf. Right now, Dancing in Denial, a horse that you and I know, Andrew, that actually I've chased unsuccessfully a little bit, is 5-2, along with True Quality, also 5-2. Are they on the outer now, guys? Have they fixed the turf?
No, this is
Might be.
the inner track at Woodbine still.
They're still on the inner. Okay, I know they've been
Yeah.
working on the.
I believe it's actually tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. They come back on the EP Taylor.
Oh,
I
and
can
EP
double
Taylor
check
tomorrow.
that.
That's great. All right. And Delmar has 16 minutes to the grade 3 best pal, which we're also going to play the audio for. As I'm going switching right now to Saratoga. Give me your top 3 in the Saratoga Derby, a very difficult race. Andrew, you're up first as we've got about 1 minute to post.
Yeah, I'm 6-10-3 here. And I really think at 10-1, the 6 is the value here.
6-10-3 for Andrew. Kyle, we know you're 3XX. What do you got with Mama, who's drifted up to 9-5, by the way?
Yep, and I'll give me all the money that I can get. I'll take it gladly
All
after
right.
today. But always a questionable. I wasn't creative in here. I was 3-10-4. Just coming, and I'm usually the one that, like you, Howard, to look for that fresh face. And unless the Euro is that good, I really don't see anyone that can take a step up to where I think these 3 are going.
We've got look who's in the chat, guys. Hockey 17, Mike Saletta. What's up, Mike? Thanks for joining the show. And it says hello to Hot Rod. We have Michael Carmoli is here. We got a lot of our great friends here. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Look at this. We got a viewer from the UK, Sue. Oh, look at this, Sue Maher. Different spelling. Look at that, guys. Different spelling. Sue Maher 5282. Loving this. Watching live from the UK. What's up, Sue? Thanks for joining the show. We really do appreciate it, guys. I'm going to go 10-4-7, and I want to be very, very, very clear. I'm looking for value. Remember, Mama can absolutely win this race. I used her, Kyle, in the picks, him in the picks. Kyle, I have nothing against you or the pick. I'm just going for value. And by the way, guys, I'm also looking at the simulcast feed. They're waiting for this race to start, and the horses are walking on the main track dirt. It absolutely looks fast. And there's still half an hour before the Whitney. And I believe, if I'm correct by the radar, the rain is staying south. So it's going to be fast, if not very close to fast, for the Whitney, which I think is great news for everyone. What's weird, Kyle and Andrew, and we got time to talk about it because they're parading behind for the Whitney. I thought the rail was not great, Kyle, today, to be honest. I thought it looked like a lot of the moves were wide on the outside. Who the F knows what it's going to be now after they sealed and they harrowed, as if that puzzle wasn't tough enough in the Whitney. This could change the track, too. We have no idea.
I mean, we've seen it time and time again. The number one thing that comes to my mind is Tampa Bay. When we had that, it was all speed all day long for Tampa Bay Derby Day.
Good call.
Then it rained, and all of a sudden the Puma wins going away by 15. I'm like, what the heck just happened there? So it absolutely could change it, which again, like you said, makes the puzzle that much more fun to solve.
Absolutely. I'm putting a little win bet on the 7. I'll play the 7 just a little bit underneath and tries. We still have about a minute to post. Glavin, by the way, looked very hot to me on the neck, some kidney sweat. So we'll see if that actually comes to fruition as I'm just typing in some bets. Who's going to have the lead here, guys?
It has to be Title Roll, right? I mean, is there anyone else but Title? I mean, West End Kid's like the next closest pace figure than to Title Roll. I would assume the 4 would be going.
Yeah, and then maybe Kendrick on the rail might send a little bit, but other than that, I mean, yeah, the 4 and the 10 are the only ones I think that have speed, or enough speed to get over, and I think the 4 is probably going to be the one that gets loose.
Now, guys, correct me. This is on the outer. I think the previous race was on the inner. So they actually, because the ground looks a little fresher, so they haven't run on this. So it's going to be firm, I would say, just not quite as firm as it was before. Let me bring the sound up.
It's post time for the Saratoga Derby.
And just a heads up to you, Howard, little production meeting. I'm going to try and update my microphone, and I'm going to leave after this.
Oh,
I'll be right
cool.
back. I'm going to try and mess with some stuff real quick.
Okay, no problem. I'll take it off the screen then, Kyle.
I'll do it
after this race?
Yep.
After this race? Okay. Who do you have in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? Who do you have in the Saratoga Derby for 3-year-olds? Very exciting race. Good luck to everyone.
Just went in.
I'm going with the 10, but it's not a strong pick. I'd like to see the 7 run a little bit.
John Velasquez taking up their positions.
Race 11 at Saratoga. Good luck in the Saratoga Derby. Frank Marimati with the call.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Saratoga Derby presented by Qatar Racing. And it was a very quick start for Glavin, who goes straight to the front, hugging that hedge with a narrow lead. And a headstrong Glacius has blown right by and opened up.
Wow.
Never mind.
Open them up, Sayers.
Off the inside.
You're going to get pace to run into now, Kyle. This is great for you.
West End Kid just
on the 3
in behind the top 2 as they round the clubhouse turn. Title Roll is in 4th. They're followed by McCready, 5th through the opening quarter mile. Remember, Mamba comfortably placed some 10 lengths off the lead. The
23. This is honest. This is more than honest, guys.
Johnny.
Fast.
23 seconds flat for the opening quarter mile. And it is Glacius who has a 2.5 length lead. Kendrick Carmouche takes a hold of Glavin in 2nd. He's by himself. And West End Kid is on the muscle 3rd. He's got 4 lengths to make up. Title Roll on the inside. Reserved in 4th. McCready has 6 to make up. The half went in 47 and 1/5.
Is this going to be the same exact result as last time where Kendrick just goes by Zayas in the stretch?
Purple and gold, 8 lengths off them as the field rounds the far turn. Another length and a half back to the big con. Here's Johnny has trailed throughout 111 and 2 for 6 furlongs. Glacius has been the controlling speed. Now West End Kid angles to the outside of Glavin for the stretch drive. McCready is next. Remember, Mamba is getting going, has a clear path with 1 furlong to go, and Glacius spurts clear. 3-length lead. West End Kid called on. Remember, Mama on the inside. Title Roll picking up some pieces late. Glacius, Title Roll on the inside. West End Kid and Remember, Mamba all chasing. Glacius, West End Kid, Glacius all the way to win by 2 in the Saratoga Derby, presented by Qatar Racing.
Give me all of that, baby. Let's go.
Second, behind them, it was a battle for 3rd between Title Roll and Remember Mamba.
Sorry for you, Kyle. I mean, Glacius, what a great ride by Sayas. We talked about that he might be aggressive with this horse. Completely ran them off their feet. 153 and 1. And Andrew, what at 9 to 1? Congratulations to everyone out there who had Glacius or Glacius. No excuse for West End Kid. Remember, Mama made his run, Kyle. He just wasn't good enough. I mean, I have no problem with your bet, obviously. He's a talented horse. Maybe he didn't like the softer turf. It comes 6, 10, 4, 3. So the 4, 3, and 10 come 2, 3, 4. You got to give a ton of credit to Sayas there, Andrew. That's the 2nd time in a row now we've seen a Euro come in from out of town and just run them off their feet. This horse had gone 1.1 miles. I think at 1.25 miles. I'm trying to remember now the last 2 times. What were the distances? I'm drawing a blank now of his last 2 races.
Long.
Was it a mile?
That was 1.25 miles.
He went 1.25 miles on a Euro track, and Ascot's an uphill finish. He wasn't going to get tired, guys. And I talked about before the race. I love that Glacius had Saez on him. I'm excited for me because I do have him in the pick 6, and that's going to help. It comes 6:10, 4:3. Kyle, I know you're bummed. So your overall thoughts?
I mean, he was all over the place. I don't know what was going on. He hit him right-handed. He shied left from the whip. They whipped him left-handed. He shied right from the whip. I just have no idea what was going on there. Obviously, Saez had one plan, and it was to get to the lead. And said the horse wasn't tiring. That's for dang sure. So, I mean, fantastic to run. I mean, 750,000. That's what you ship over here for.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback off that, but just to talk about Saez real quick, I think he noticed the last race where he went to the lead with Mibago and how Mibago held on, setting pretty fast fractions, that maybe maybe with a better horse that has more stamina. I mean, the 6 has just ran 2 straight races at 1.25 miles on 2 tracks that go uphill down the stretch. And just has held on both times there. I think this one just, the cutback, everything, he goes to the lead, he holds on, and that's all Saez had to do. And once he seen that the 4 didn't go and the 1 went instead, that he had a chance to just steal it on the front hand. And I think that Saez really did what Saez does, and that's commit robbery on the front end at a good price. And I'm glad that he was in the irons of the horse I liked, so I'm okay with it.
That was congratulations, Andrew. That was all Saez. I'm telling you, this horse was not on the lead his last 2 races, but you know what? If anyone has any doubt, I mean, you don't have to convince me, and I'm not going to go on a rampage here because I think I'm starting to piss some Bourbon Square fans off. Burnham Square. I'm starting to piss some people off on X, Andrew, because I just continually keep saying that Burnham Square has 0 chance in the Breeders' Cup if good Euros come over. I mean, how many times we have to see Euros win at prices in the United States? I mean, that horse won comfortably and was 9-1 for God's sakes. I mean, it's just the longer they go, the more it helps these Euros. Not that they can't win going a mile, but
right.
I just tip my cap to Hugo Palmer and Saez. Andrew, they're not going to send. He could send over a zillion horses. Right. They know what horses to send over. It's not red boarding. I didn't have him on top, but I did think he was interesting. And they know who to send over, Andrew. These Euro trainers are not stupid.
Yeah, and like Hugo Palmer is not a trainer that like a Aidan O'Brien that sends horses over here during the summer often. So the fact that he sent somebody over here and he tracks Saez, it screamed that this horse was live. But on top of that, when it comes to the Burnham Square situation, I don't necessarily disagree. But however, like if Billy Loughlin comes over here with a horse that he's going to ride, I'm betting that horse no matter what. I don't care if the horse is 100-1. I'm hoping that one of the Euros sends that the young jockey of promise over here and rides in the Breeders' Cup, because I think no matter who they send over, if Billy Loughlin's on the horse, I'm taking it. It's just like a Ryan Moore from
Billy the
10
Kid
years ago. So but no, I think this is a horse that's probably going to be pointed to another stake over at Saratoga. I don't think they sent it over here just for this one. Maybe they
we'll
train up the Breeders' Cup, but I think this one's alive and a very, very, very good horse when it comes to American standards.
I don't know what the plan is, Andrew. It'll be interesting to see if he does stay here. Andrew Fernandez 5516. It is not amazing that a second or a third rate Euro eats these second rate local horses for lunch. Let me clarify, Andrew and Kyle. Kyle knows this. These are not second rate Americans. These are the best 3-year-olds we have in this country, Kyle, unless I'm forgetting someone on the West Coast or something. And I didn't really find too many excuses, unless our horses just didn't love maybe the little softer turf. I'm not going to use that excuse. I just think that Euro just ran a better race and probably got a mid to high 90 buyer right there.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, West End kid. I mean, the only 3-year-old on turf that hasn't been mentioned has been injured since Churchill? Stark contrast? Yeah. He won that race on Derby Day, and he hasn't ran again since because he's been injured. That's the only other horse I can think of, 3-year-old on the turf.
Yeah, Woodbine is off. I'm gonna see if I can catch the race. Sorry, guys, we were talking about.
I'm gonna try and fix stuff. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
The rest were well behind. Final time showing now is
Did Clement win?
2:47.
4. I think it was the 4.
4.
Is that
I would
Clement?
say Clement's is 7, so I think.
I think that's the 4. I think the 4 one. Sorry, apologize everyone. Again, I'm big time multitasking. At least we'll see the end here.
Yeah, 4.
4-3-6 at Woodbine, race 10. 4-3-6 English actor for
Would not have had
Rachel
that in
Halden
4.
and Fraser Albee wins
Yeah.
the Niagara. It was a 1 3/8 race. The chalk's nowhere to
Winner
be
all the way,
found.
number 4, English actor, over 3, Side Street. Third 6.
Wow, that horse hasn't won since August.
There we go.
Sultana, unofficial.
4, a horse that's been off for a while, wins at Woodbine. We do have the Del Mar Best Pal coming up here in just a little bit, which I'd like to show because it is 2-year-olds and it is a grade 3, not show, but play. Okay, good. We got 1 minute to post.
The horses have now reached the starting gate. It's post time.
This is the
They're
grade
at the
3
gate
Best
for the
Pal,
Best
and there's
Pal.
a very talented Baffert horse who won on debut, as depending on the race caller likes to say. Hughes, the number 3, Andrew Hughes for JJ Hernandez and Baffert, is a very fast horse. But the number 2, He Is No Lie, almost won the Bachelor Manor. He's fast. The number 6, Kenny
Set to move in
10.
for the Best Pal. Phone Booth will lead them in.
1 open lengths. There's some very good horses in this race. I'm expecting the number 3 Hughes to win. I think he'd be best if he sat off the 2 and the 6. This is the Best Pal race 3 from Del Mar. It's a grade 3, 6 furlongs for 2-year-olds. The favorite is the Baffert choice, number 3 Hughes. Larry Colmus with the call, the Best Pal.
You Want Some going in. Here's Kenny 10 to the outside stall. Steps up.
Sorry.
Goes in, and they're all in line. They're off in the Best Pal. Not a good start for He Is No Lie. Kenny 10 and Hughes both had very good beginnings, and these two go out to the front together. And then it's You Want Some away running in third, just in behind them, followed by Phone Booth and He Is No Lie.
Wow, speed
Trails
not
the
really
field.
developing.
Hughes up top. Kenny 10's a half length off of him, and You Want Some, the first-time starter, sticking with those two, splitting them now and moving up into second up the backstretch. Break of another 2 to Phone Booth and He Is No Lie, and they're 3.5 lengths off the lead.
Slow first quarter for
22.92
these.
the opening quarter mile. And Juan Hernandez and Hughes lead the way by a neck. You Want Some on the outside. Pours on the pressure in second. Kenny 10 under a drive, a length and a half off of them. Then He Is No Lie coming 4 wide, and Phone Booth is the trailer. Hughes continues to lead the way as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Kenny 10 starts to kick it in now, and He Is No Lie is circled up into third on the outside, and they're into
This
the
race is
stretch.
over.
And Hughes is open up to lead by 3 with a furlong to run.
Oh, boy.
Leaving Kenny 10. He Is No Lie and Phone Booth behind. Look at Hughes roll home. It's Hughes in the Best Pal in style. He won it by 7 lengths in a photo for second between Phone
Wow.
Booth and Kenny 10.
109 and 3. Now, Hughes got a perfect setup, Andrew. It was a slow first quarter for these horses. The 2 didn't break at all. The 6 decided not to gun for the lead because they were going 6 furlongs for the first time. He got away with 22 and 4 and 46, which is absolute murder for these horses. But he galloped out great. This is a serious horse for Bob Baffert. Again, the name of this horse is Hughes. He is I'm trying to look at the breeding. He's an Into Mischief colt out of a Union Rags mare, KB Dreamin'. You would have to think at this point, Andrew, that they're going to go to the 7 furlong Del Mar Futurity, which is in about a month from now. And you got to be thinking American Pharoah and, American Pharoah Stakes and then Breeders' Cup Juvenile. This, again, the better speeds didn't break in this race, and he got everything his own way. This looks like a serious animal.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. It's still West Coast, 4-horse field. Who knows? But let's hope that Bob Baffert can keep this horse healthy and get this horse going further down the road. And, it does have a ton of potential. I mean, it looks really good. So let's see how it does. I just really hope it doesn't retire early or has an injury or whatever, or we have to wait a year for it to come back because you know how
Oh
bad it
boy.
can be. But
Oh boy.
I hope it runs. That's all I'm saying. I just want to see horses run like they can, especially when they have ability, and hopefully that this one can live up to that.
Look, I hear you. They're signaling the noise. We get it. We all get it. I get it. It's fair to be a bit skeptical at times with certain, with Bob Baffer's horses, whatever. And usually I wouldn't be that giddy about a horse like that. But I agree with Noah. The way he did it though, Andrew, like the way he finished and galloped out through the wire was mighty impressive. And Noah says breeders for surety. Yeah, we'll see. He's going to face better horses. He's going to face more pace pressure. By the way, the horse that he crushed in his first start won the first race today at Del Mar as well, as I'm sure Noah knows. I deep dove into Del Mar today. No, I'm not sure how long you've been listening to the show, but I don't know if you're going to be proud of me or not, but I actually played the place pick all bet today at Del Mar. I deep dove today at Del Mar, and I'm playing the pick six later. At least that's my plan. So Hughes went off at 3-2 is an absolute steal if you liked him. Again, that being said, though, Andrew, he did get everything his own way, and you do have to take that into account. But he looks like a real nice horse. And Noah, if you're home just watching and you want to jump on just for fun, you're more than welcome. He has the link. I don't want to put Noah in put him on the spot. But if he's just home chilling and he wants to join us because we are doing some Del Mar conversation as well, he is welcome. All right, guys, it's about that time as I'm just switching over to a few things here. It's about that time for the big one, for the Whitney. How much time do we have to post to the Whitney? It should be at least 20 minutes, right? Probably here. Let's see here.
At least, yeah, we have 25 or
24 minutes, and
so probably
Woodbine's got 19 minutes. But you know what? We're going to focus on the Whitney the rest of the way here. The Whitney, the plan here for today was the Whitney was going to be the very last race that we are going to cover, and I think we're going to stick to that, guys. So we got 24 minutes to the Whitney, Andrew. I'll tell you, let's do this. Let's take a very short break. Let us sort of collect our thoughts here. Noah said hashtag DGen. I'll see what I can do. So maybe Noah will jump on for the Whitney. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But again, no, you don't. We're not putting you on the spot. Do whatever you'd like, Noah. Let me switch over to
Noah. Join us.
There you go. Who wants to see Noah? Watch people say no. We don't want Noah. Of course we want Noah. Let's do this. Let's reset this scene. I'm going to set up a few things. We're going to take a 90-second break here. Let us catch our breaths here, Andrew. Let me get that set up, the screen, the banner that I want, that we will be right back. Banner, if I can find it. There we go. There's the banner. We're going to be back in about 90 seconds, everyone. Do not go anywhere. Full coverage of the Grade 1 Whitney will be Magnitude, will be Baeza, will be last year's Eclipse winner, Sovereignty, will be my sneaky choice, maybe, at least underneath an antiquarian. We'll be back in 90 seconds right here on the HHH Racing Podcast with full discussion and conversation about the Whitney Stakes. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
Host fail. Host fail.
Well, host fail. We are back. Howard Kravitz along with Andrew Rosinski and live from the paddock at Saratoga Racecourse. Paul Halloran, it is time for the grade 1 Whitney. We got Paul is right there. Paul, take it over. What do you got?
Well, you just had a glimpse of Sovereignty. Sovereignty's going to be walking right in the circles behind me. Looking at the will pays, I was just talking to Danny Melville. It looks like it's going to be very close for favoritism here between the 1 and the 6. The 6 is actually favored in doubles, and the 1 is a slight favorite in the pick 3. So, and you can see the sun is shining as it always does. They've now gone into saddle. So, you asked about that Euro, Howard. Did you have him?
I have him in the pick 6, my friend. I'm still live.
Nice. That's a good.
What a ride by Science, by the way, Paul. And I know you and I don't want to talk too much about that race, but you don't have to convince you and I. The Euros are just much better damn animals. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, well, I just spoke to Hugo Palmer, the trainer, and we asked about picking the spot, and he said, well, if I'm being honest, there was a race in France we were going to run in next weekend. It was supposed to be worth 400,000 euros. They cut it to 100,000 euros. And without being disrespectful to the horses here, he would have had to run better to win the 100,000 euros in France than he did to win this race today. So they are looking at the aggression.
I love the aggression by Saez too, Paul.
Yeah.
Love the aggression. All right, anyway.
Well, he said how they looked at the race and thought that there wasn't much pace, just what we talked about beforehand. And he said that he had no doubt the horse could stay the 11 furlongs. So, yeah, Louis did a great job.
All right, let's talk about the Whitney, Paul. You're in the paddock there. As you mentioned, in the doubles, Sovereignty is a slight favorite. Baez is second choice. Manitou's third choice in the doubles, actually. But it's all very close. The pick 3, as you said, Manitou is a decent-sized favorite. So I'm guessing Manitou will be the favorite. I think Sovereignty and Baez will be about the same price. Tell us what else you see there for our wonderful viewers and listeners.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've over the course of the day, it seems like I've stumbled upon more Baez or Buzz. I know a lot of people like him. They're just hoping he can, put the gate issues behind him and get out. So, I would say if none of those 3 wins, it's going to blow it up, and that includes White Barrio, by the way. Who's riding them? Did they announce that yet?
Yes, Micah Husbands.
That's what I thought. Yeah, what an opportunity!
Oh, unbelievable, Paul. As I predicted, the dirt is fast, so that's good. What's interesting, Paul, to me, and I was talking about Andrew about this. They sealed it and then they harrowed it. I thought the inside was not the place to be throughout this card. Now, Paul, we honestly have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, that's why I texted. When I went out there for that race, I noticed it was harrowed. So I think I would say it's going to be a pretty fair racetrack. I don't see any bias developing in the last hour since they ran a race. So it's harrowed. I think it'll be fast, and I think we're going to get whoever runs the best race will win.
Again, Paul, feel free to show us anything you'd like in the paddock or any observations. I'm going to leave you on, Paul, in case you see something that's noteworthy or you want to mention anything. So I'll just keep you on here for a while. Andrew, let's look at the field. You got Magnitude, who I think personally is starting to feel like gun runner. I mean, he's really good. We got Kyle back on now. We're just going through the field, Kyle, with Paul in the paddock here. Magnitude will be a slight favorite, Kyle, according to the doubles and pick 3s. But Baez and Sovereignty should be awfully close. It's actually going to be 3. It's going to be like 9-5, 2-1, 5-2 kind of situation. It looks to me. Manitou, guys, is getting really good. I couldn't say enough good things about him when I saw him with Stephen Foster. Kyle, you were hosting that show. He's training great, Paul. You covered this race for the Saratoga Special, Paul. What intel can you give us on Magnitude pre-race?
Well, I mean, they're supremely confident. However, I will say the one thing that both Steve Asmussen and Ron Winchell brought up when I spoke to them, they believe it's a legitimate concern that he ran so poorly in the Travers last year. Now, he wasn't beating Sovereignty. He's a different horse then, and they're different horses now, perhaps. But he lost by 20 lengths and really ran poorly. So that, I think if you were to ask them if they had any concerns at all, they would start and end with that. Because I think they believe right now, the way their horse is running, everything being equal, he can beat any of these horses. So, this is a quirky place. We've talked about it for years, right?
Right.
As I say, he wasn't going to beat Sovereignty that day, but, he just didn't run a step on this track and lost by 20 3/4 lengths. So other than that, they believe they're sitting on the best horse in the world, dirt horse in the world right now. And, they have a plan set. They obviously want to win the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Kyle and Andrew, I'll speak for myself. While I'm not going to poo-poo the thoughts of Steve Asmussen and connections, but trainers are always nervous about everything, right? In general, I personally, Kyle and Andrew, have zero issues with him running again at Saratoga. I that wasn't his day. Clearly, something happened that day. He's a much better animal now. Unless he runs poorly, I'd have to see it again. Andrew and Kyle, do you have any concerns about running over a track where he did so badly at last time? Andrew, you go first.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm using 1, 3, and 8 here to start the late pick 3. I think Magnitude is just one of, if not the best dirt horses going long right now, just in the world. Has shown up time and time again. Don't get me wrong, Nitrogen's probably the best filly at this level. But I think it's a telltale sign that Jose had the option of probably the best filly or the best colt going long right now and chose Magnitude. I like that a lot. Shows the confidence that Jose has in the horse. Yeah, sure, the Travers didn't come up the way it should have, but that was just a different horse then. I don't think this horse really kicked into gear until, after the PA Derby. And I always joke around saying PA Derby builds stamina, and I think that's what it really did with this horse. Let's be real. I mean, the stamina since that race, this horse has just improved in each time and has held on and fought everybody off and increasing buyer numbers and whatnot, no matter if it was in Maidan, Oaklawn, Churchill, wherever. So I don't think track's really the issue here, and I just think if Jose can get to the lead, that's what the horse likes the best, and it's going to be catch me if you can, maybe. But I just think that Jose Ortiz needs to be aggressive out the gate.
I would agree. He's going to be forward. Kyle, do you have any concerns about the track? And then we'll break down the race flow here, Kyle.
No, and I know the numbers don't say anything. I just think he's a different horse now. I think, like you said, no one was beating Sovereignty that day. Tip your cap, chalk it up, and move on. And he ran a 114 last time with Stephen Foster. Forge Steel was truly the only horse that was going to press him fully. Now, if he gets loose, the race might be over from the get-go, but we'll see. This is what you pay the price of admission for. This is a fantastic edition of the Whitney, and it's going to be a fantastic race to watch no matter what.
I mean, it's one of the best renditions we've seen in a long time. It's Breeders' Cup quality. Let's talk about the filly. This is a really cool sporting job by Cassie. I love the fact that she's in here, guys, but I gotta be honest, 5-1 to me is a ridiculous underlay. If it wasn't for the last race, she'd be 15 or 20-1 here, guys. I guess you could say she might get a great trip, Kyle, right? She might just sit right off of Magnitude.
Yep.
But I have a very hard time believing she's going to win this race, and I wouldn't be shocked if she just fades late. These are completely different animals. I love the fact she's here. I don't like her at all, and I'm prepared to say that I couldn't be more wrong in about 10 minutes.
I mean, yeah, and I'll be wrong with you, but it's the matter of 113 last time at Saratoga. She's 3 for 3 at the track, and
yeah,
I mean, there's genuine angles for her, but you are right.
6.
I mean, it's a 1-number horse, right? In general, the 113 last time, and if she doesn't have it, which she does, you can't say that if she doesn't have it. Of course, she has it, but that was against a horse that I thought was very good and fully subscribed, who came back to win very nicely, but got a 98 in the comeback win. So
she did. And she
know.
loves Saratoga.
Yep.
Sometimes there's just horses for courses, Andrew, but I don't see it here. Antiquarian. I could talk for 15 minutes about this horse, guys, but I'll be very brief. This is my long shot play of this race. He's not taking a lot of money. I guess I'm not surprised. His running lines don't look that good in his last two, Andrew. But the bottom line is, I thought he actually ran better than it looked in the Met Mile, who was won by Nysos, who just retired, and Knightsbridge has run off the screen since. He was up close to the pace for no damn reason. I hated the ride. Last time the Suburban, it was an awful trip. He broke slow. He was in between. He had absolutely no chance. He's worked well since. It's a switch to Franco. I hope Manny just sits off the 1 and the 2. Andrew, I know this horse is capable of running a huge race. I am playing very, very big exactas with him in second. I'm using him in third in tries, and I put an insanity win bet on him just in case. I'm not using him in the pick 6 on top. I'm going with Manitou and Baeza, but do not be shocked if this one, Antiquarian, runs a massive race. He just needs the right trip.
Yeah, no, I agree. I had this horse as my top pick in the Jockey Club Gold Cup last year, and that horse came through at a good price. I don't know if the horse can duplicate that number, but it should get the type of trip to duplicate that number. You get the red hot Manny Franco, can't really do anything wrong right now. I don't know. I think this horse is definitely declining in speed figures, and something might be up, but they wouldn't put this horse in this spot if it didn't have a chance. And I think Pletcher might get 6,000 here at a bomb, and I would love to start the pick 3 that way.
Paul, what a story if Pletcher gets his 6,000 win on Antiquarian. This horse we talked about a little bit. I know he's declining in buyers, but I think he had his uses, Paul. I know you and Jeff Moore talked about this horse, and Bob. I'm playing him about as big as I can for my own personal bank account underneath. I think he's got a big shot to split the chalks here in second or third.
Yeah, well, you know, and I think you made a good point earlier. You have to ride him the way he wants to be ridden, and that's got to be coming from behind. And you know, if he doesn't get there, he doesn't get there. But certainly a good chance to pick up pieces. They're heading out to the track, Howard. I just kind of from a distance got to look at them going by. Well, Western Kid ran second, my beauty contest pick last race.
Who looks good?
Sovereignty, I will say, does look good. I mean, you know, they all look good. These are really good horses. If I had to pick between Sovereignty and Baeza, though, on the look scale, I would take Sovereignty. And Magnitude has just looked great all week. So I'm going to go out to the track and watch this race, Howard, and I will try to pop on after, well, depending on what I have to do after the race.
All right. Thanks, Paul. We really appreciate your coverage. Thank you. All right, guys, let's go to White Abarrio, guys. Kyle, really cool horse. I thought he took advantage of a lot of things in the Oaklawn handicap 2 back. He wants it fast. Micah Husbands is certainly a decent jockey, but look, if you like this horse, you'd want NYRA instead. I just don't have good vibes on him. I suppose he could run a massive race and finish second or third. I would be, I hate to say shocked because he's done it before. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it here.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is how many times have we had the same exact conversation?
I know,
like with this horse. I mean, we literally. I mean, 2 years ago in the Whitney, we said the same exact thing on him.
I know.
I'm not trying to talk him in the winner's circle because that'd be terrible.
Yeah, please don't.
Everyone.
Please don't do that.
But yeah, I would be very surprised. I think, like I said, that was a complete move by IRAD. Sit back. He's like, oh, White Abarrio. I mean, Sovereignty and Journalism are going. Cool. I'll sit right here and I'll go right by it. But I don't know. Yeah. I would also be very surprised if I see him in the winner's circle. But again, unfortunately, we've seen it all before.
Okay. Sovereignty, Andrew. Paul knows Sovereignty. Like, I've met Sovereignty. We know Sovereignty well because Paul knows Godolphin well. I don't want to talk forever because we only have about 6 minutes, but just for people that are listening and watching now that didn't hear our show earlier, I talked to Junior Alvarado after the last race at dinner, actually at Jeff Ruby's, and he swears the horse did not like that track at Churchill. Neither did White Abarrio. It was not the same sloppy track, Andrew. I've been trying to tell people over and over again, and you know because you know horses well. The track for the Derby was like puddles and like legit like water collecting on top of the dirt. At the Stephen Foster was sticky. It was sealed. It had rained all weekend. Some horses didn't like it. He actually went backwards a little bit on the backstretch and then regathered. I am fully convinced Sovereignty didn't like that track. I'm also fully convinced he didn't want to be necessarily on the lead in the oaklawn handicap. The big question you have to answer is he the same as last year, or is he digressing? That is the major question.
See, I don't know if he's really regressing. It's just I feel like he hasn't been able to piece two races in a row together since the Travers. Well, technically he's only had two races, but like the gap in between the Oaklawn to the Churchill, and whatnot, it seems like they're kind of trying to pick their spots more so than just letting the horse run and get into form again. And as a 4-year-old, I mean that makes sense because you want to pick your spots and probably be the last year he's running, as a racehorse before he goes to the breeding shed. So you don't want to overdo it. But I kind of feel like this horse gets better when he runs more consistently, and to turn it back around a little bit quicker this time is definitely a good sign. I still need to see a race, in my personal opinion, especially at 2-1. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sovereignty ran huge, but it's just not going to be on my tickets at this price.
Let me do a few things, guys. So we got literally 1,000 people watching. We can't thank everyone enough. I know we have a lot of new viewers watching and listening. First of all, we've got a great tip sheet. Look below the video player on YouTube. It's called Power Picks Tip Sheet. It's very inexpensive. It's very profitable. It comes out on Saturdays. Please go look below the video player in the description and check out and look into our Power Picks tip sheet, which you can buy through Patreon. We've got a great website. It's hhhracingpodcast.com. It's got all the information about our YouTube channel, about our podcast. We have shows on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights with all live, with previewing races for the weekend and excellent handicapping. And we tip out as many winners as possible. We've got some just excellent guys on the show as well. DRF Clocker reports are available for Saratoga and Del Mar as well. And then, of course, please follow us on X, right below Andrew there, at HHH Racing Pod. Please follow us on all social media channels. And then most importantly, Kyle, please hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. It costs you nothing. It only helps us. And hit the notification bell, of course, on the top right. We greatly appreciate it. Let's go back. Let's go now. Tiz Tastic's a long shot who has zero shot unless it completely falls apart and something weird happens. Baeza. Kyle, I'm hemming and hawing between this horse and Magnitude. I'm going to stick with Magnitude because I think the pace is going to work out. If Baeza breaks, he has got a huge, huge shot. I think you'll know in the first 3 or 4 steps if he's got a chance here. Even if he doesn't break, he runs a big race. I always liked him last year. They're putting pads on the inside of the gate, Kyle, to hopefully make him more comfortable, which seems like a bit of a desperation move considering it's Bill Mott. If Baeza wins, I would not be surprised at all. He's almost my top pick here.
Yeah, no, I have my my main play in here is the 1-8 exacta, but I do have the insanity move because if Baeza does win over Magnitude through the stretch, I'm going to be very upset if I do not have it. So I am playing it backwards as well for the insanity play. I think he's ultra talented. I think these 2 races, even though he can't get out of the dang metal thing that starts the races, I think he's about as good as a lot of these horses that he's run against. If he can just break, sit mid-pack, he'll probably, in theory, sit but in front of Sovereignty if he can actually break from the gate. And if that's the case, this horse has an absolutely massive shot to win this race. But I'm with you. I ended up going 1-8-6.
I'm going to go 1-3-8. I'm really hoping Antiquarian runs a big race. Andrew, here's my vision. Magnitude, assuming they all break, Magnitude's going to have the lead. I assume that Nitron's going to be in second. I think what Abayo's going to show more speed. I really do. I think it's going to be 1-2-5 early, and I'm hoping Antiquarian breaks well and sits in 4th on the inside, saving ground, and then tipping out late, Andrew. That's my vision. I think the pace will be moderate. I think the whole key to this pace, frankly, is Micah Husbands on the 5. I don't see Johnny V on the filly, like gunning it. He's not that kind of guy. I could see Micah showing more speed, but if they don't go after Magnitude, it might be lights out, my friend.
Yeah, I kind of like what I think it was Sam Falcon said about how the 8 gets to break from the outside, last one in usually. when it comes to the outside post, and then doesn't have to stand there too long. Should help him break. I'm 8-3-1 here, or actually 8-1-3. I really like Baeza. I just hope it breaks, and I think that you're right. If Whitabario gets the lead and tries to duel those front end speeds, I mean it's going to set up for a closer, and that sets up for Baeza and Sovereignty, in my opinion, to sit a good trip. So. Or Antiquarian, which I would love at 14-1, but and so would you, Howard. So
Absolutely.
I'm rooting for the 3, but I think the 8. I think the 8 gets the job done today. 8 or
Again,
the 1.
if you want to watch this race, you have to have go to Fox coverage. If you're in the United States, it's on Fox. I think that's the only place it's on, right, Kyle? So it's on Fox. If you're overseas, you'd have to watch through your ADW. We obviously can't show the race because of copyright issues. I am going to play the sound, of course. JR thinks it's the year of Nitrogen. If Nitrogen wins this race, that would be unbelievable. I mean, honestly, Kyle, if she runs second, I think that'd be amazing. She's gonna have to run just an incredible race, and she's capable of it on this track. We got Sam. We got a lot. Who do you think is going to win? Put it in the chat. Put it below the video player. Alexander is going with Magnitude. Again, final thoughts as they're approaching the gate. Kyle, give me your top 3.
I am nothing creative. I am 1-8-6 in here, but I do have a big exact of 1-8. If that does happen, we shall be going to Sizzler. Everyone, bottom left-hand side of the screen, it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. That's all you have to type in. Is a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4, and it'll pop up in the poll. Let's see where we're going with in the Whitney. Magnitude,
there you go.
Baeza, Sovereignty, or anyone else.
Yep, just put 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat based on you see on the left-hand side of the screen there, and it'll pop up there. 1 Magnitude. Again, these are not the program numbers. It's just for our poll. If you like Magnitude, put 1. Baeza 2. Sovereignty 3. If you like someone else, put 4. Wow, not a lot of love for Sovereignty in there. Again, Andrew, they're approaching the gate. Final, your top 3.
8-1-3.
8-1-3, and I'm going 1-3-8. I'm going to bring the sound on. When Frank Vermati talks, we'll make sure everyone hears. The track is fast. We don't know how it's going to play. Will that you can take that off that poll eventually? Is that right?
Yep, I'll take it off when the race starts.
Great. Looks like it's a split between Magnitude and Baeza.
It's post time for the
you guys can hear
running of the Whitney. It's a winner for the Breeders' Classic division.
Come on, Antiquarian. Just finish second or third. I have an insanity win bet too, but I really wanted to finish second or third. Good luck in one of the best Whitneys we've ever seen. It's basically a Breeders' Cup Classic race.
The first 2 to load.
Who is it going to be? Frank Vermati with the call of the Grade 1 Whitney. And stick around after the race for analysis right here on the HHH Racing Podcast.
Following White Abario is Sovereignty. Tistastic.
Watch the break of Baeza is huge, guys. And obviously the nitrogen break too on the inside. Inside and outside, guys. Watch those two.
Well, he's not a nutso, at least so far.
And they're off in the Whitney. And Baeza broke slowly once again. Nitrogen broke beautifully and goes straight to the front. On the inside, there's room for Magnitude, who most expected to be on the front end. And there he goes, Magnitude to the front. Nitrogen counters. And
Manny, relax off these two, Manny.
Aquarian comes away in
I don't like that he's this close again, guys.
It's a gap of
wow,
5.
the filly has the lead, guys.
Then the 2 trailers, Tistastic.
Oh, boy.
And Baeza, 23-2 for the opening quarter
mile.
mile.
What you wanted.
And it is the filly Nitrogen taking command and leading over Antiquarian. Magnitude is suddenly back to third, joined by White Abario. Those 2 strides.
It just doesn't look right for Magnitude right now. Something just looks off.
Baeza, Tistastic, and now Sovereignty is last. The half in 46.
Magnitude's in a lot of trouble.
Nitrogen takes them into the far turn with Antiquarian pressing the issue now. He's within a neck of her. White Abario third. Magnitude is just
Magnitude's
losing
done.
ground. He's being pushed along, and now 6 lengths off the pace. Baeza is starting to pick it up. He is racing on the inside of Sovereignty, and Sovereignty is starting to come with a big bid through 3/4 in 109 and 3. They're at the top of the stretch. Nitrogen with a 3-length lead. Sovereignty bearing down in the middle of the racetrack and coming at her, and Sovereignty with a devastating stretch kick has taken control of the Whitney. Nitrogen, Antiquarian, and all the others left in the wake of Sovereignty, who's back on top, strolling in to win the Whitney
second, though.
by over 5 lengths. The battle for second between Nitrogen and Antiquarian.
Wow, good horse, man. What a
Sovereignty wins the Whitney and tells all of his naysayers, I'm not going anywhere, boys and girls. Sovereignty wins at 147 and 4. The filly runs a massive race for second. Antiquarian finishes third. I don't think I have a trifecta, guys, because I didn't use unbelievable. I did not use the filly in second. I don't think in my try, guys. 6, 2, 3. Baeza and Magnitude
Sovereignty was first. It's a photo for second.
Out of the try. What a race, guys. What a horse. I should have gone with my original instinct, guys. I knew that track didn't play well for him last time. 6-2-3-8, guys, in the Whitney. Wow.
Number 2, Nitrogen was second.
Did pass him.
Antiquarian third.
Andrew, your thoughts?
I mean, look, I just lost my pick 3, but I didn't have Nitrogen either. So I mean, it was good race by the 6. I mean, hell, I knew from basically a 4 furlongs in that something was wrong with Magnitude and just was not having its day. Really aggressive ride by Manny on the Antiquarian, which I think was what really kept that horse in it to the end. You know, I think he may have made a move a little too early, but I mean, with quality of field like this, you kind of have to do that, and to really hold on and almost get second and fight off, you know, horses like Baeza coming flying late. It's very good effort by Antiquarian, but Sovereignty ran a hole in the wall there. I mean, Jesus, what a horse.
There's so many things to unpack here, guys. First of all, and you see the order of the finish on the bottom of the screen. Again, don't leave anywhere, folks. We're going to talk about this race for a few minutes. Talk about redemption for Mott, Alvarado. Everyone was saying, Kyle, or a lot of people are saying the source not the same. He's done, blah, blah, blah. You know, I had inside intel, and I should have used them in my pick 6. I regret it now. Not only did he win this race, he was clearly the best, and he is clearly not going anywhere. This is a huge effort. They went 23-2, 46-1, 109-3, 135, 147-4. They really laid it down. And I'll tell you what, Baeza really had no excuses. In fact, he got the jump on Sovereignty, but he just couldn't really sustain it. And what a ride by Junior. He not finally, but he took back on this horse. He rode him like he'd been winning before. Actually, let's get Junior here with Maggie.
Just something, you know, you don't see often.
No, and how special is he? I know I asked you this last year, but he's back on top, and he is showing that he is the true reigning horse of the year.
Absolutely, I never had a doubt about him. You know, like I say, we were just, you know, letting him get into fitness, getting himself ready to show up like he did today. And I think just from now on, hopefully, you know, he stays sound, you know, and he will give us a lot of good races.
Absolutely, Junior. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, Maggie.
Well, Sovereignty.
Guys, 147-4 is moving on a track that, you know, we don't know, Andrew. Maybe the moisture made it a little faster. We don't know, but that is absolutely moving. 147-4. Your thoughts on Sovereignty, Andrew?
Yeah, no, really good horse. No, like ran a perfect race. Junior had the horse in the right spot. Didn't have to really rush into anything. Pace was strong and contested, and I think Sovereignty's back to where it was, and I know Paul is very happy right now. So, you know,
I'm sure he is.
Paul and the Godolphin team and Alvarado and Mott. I mean, look, what a race.
Unbelievable.
I just got Paul just sent a text. He said he's back! !
Oh, no doubt.
So
Kyle, let's talk about the filly.
that's what I want to talk about.
Not only did she outbreak Magnitude, but those were very quick fractions. I was correct that sorry, actually I was incorrect that White Bar would be more forward. Antiquarian was the one that's tracking and not tracking. I mean, really was aggressive. And she beat Antiquarian and just didn't hold off last year's Eclipse winner. She ran a massive race. I'm going to be, at this point, I guess you can wonder, should she go to the Breeders' Cup Classic? I say no. I think she's a really good horse. I thought that before, but she did run better than I thought. I think she just really likes Saratoga. I think if they're smart, Cassie's in go to the Spinster and then win the Breeders' Cup Distaff by 3 or 4 lengths and call it a career or go on if they want her to. I don't know. I tip my cap to Mark Cassie and Nitrogen. She ran massive, Kyle. There's no other way to say it.
I don't know how else you could say it. I mean, and the thing that I thought was really interesting, which should have been apparent from the start, was Johnny V was given direction to not, if you outbreak Magnitude, do not let him get there, because you saw that Magnitude started to come up the inside on the first turn, and Johnny V looked one way and clicked it, responded again, and took straight out to be lone on the lead, which ultimately gave her second place. She ran absolutely huge. Would love to see what the buyer comes back, because that is really, I mean, this 147, like you said, is moving. Wonder what the buyer's going to come back. If she matches that same buyer from last time, I mean, what filly is going to challenge the 113 buyer runner, in the filly division? So could absolutely we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see how Mark Cassie platoons her for the rest of the year.
Fito Jose, it came 6-2-3-8. 6-2-3-8. Sovereignty wins. There we go. The number 6. Right at the wire, Nitrogen much better than expected. To me, Kyle, the whole race changed when Magnitude didn't quite break rate. That changed everything. Now, I don't know if Magnitude would have won if he was on top. What's pretty damn clear at this point, guys, is Magnitude is very talented, but he does need his own way. I'm not saying he has to be alone on the lead, but he has to break well, and it appears that he's a need the lead type, which in general is troublesome in big-time races, Kyle.
It might also just be as simple as maybe he really doesn't like Saratoga. At the end of the day, it just might just be as simple as that. We'll see what happens the next races he comes back out of, but that's bad. That's 2 duds in a row at Saratoga. It could just be as simple as that, but also you make a good point with, if he does not get to the lead, the issues are definitely there. Yeah,
Andrew, I'm disappointed in Nitrogen. He was my top pick. I mean, this is definitely a step back for him. He's really good. I have to watch the head on. I do agree, however, with, it was Jose, right? On Nitrogen. Mm-hmm. I do agree with him not rushing up and try to engage Nitrogen and get into a crazy battle. Once he didn't break, it's not like Nitrogen hasn't won a little bit off the lead before. I have no problem with that. What's clear, though, is he is a need the lead type, and the horse put Jose in an awful position the first 20 yards out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, and not just that, but I mean, it all matters what comes out of the gate. And we knew that the 1 and the 2 were going to go, and Jose Ortiz chose the one he thought had more speed, and didn't work out that way. But the real question is, what do we do with Baeza going forward? I mean, when will this horse ever learn how to break out of a gate? I don't know what else is there to do? Add blinkers? No, because the blinkers is already on. Take the blinkers off? No, because it debuted poorly with blinkers off. So I really don't know. If it was in Europe, I would say put a hood over it or something. I don't know, but
by the way, Paul was in the winner's circle, guys. Just want to mention.
Yeah. Bring him on. Bring him on.
Well, no, he's not. I mean, he's not. They're taking the photo. He's in the winner's circle. I'm sure Paul will jump back on if he can. Yeah. I actually think he has to cover this race. And now that Sovereignty won, I don't think Paul's going to come back on because he's got to do work here. Kyle Baeza, he didn't break slow last year, really. I don't know what's going on. he did make a middle move, and I actually thought he was, had a big shot, but Sovereignty just, came over the top of him, and Baez had to wait a little bit, but really, he's causing his own issues, and at this point, I can't trust him in any big time race right now. He's a nice horse, but man, when you can't break and you're up against monsters, it's just a major problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's down to the sole fact that you're literally betting on him because he will always take money. I mean, he didn't run poorly there by any means, but you break last, you have to rush up a little bit to get to everyone else, make your big run, and you're trying to run with Sovereignty while doing that. It's where he's going to be. It's just tough, and when you're betting him, you're going to be taking him at 7-2, 4-1 odds at all times, banking that the horse can actually react a little bit out of the gate. So, and that's always a tough horse to back.
Yeah, and in terms of Antiquarian guys, I'm not disappointed. He finished third. I'm upset that I don't have the try because I didn't have the filly in second, which drives me crazy. But I put freaking White Abario in second instead of the filly. Which can all the White Abario love? Can we just, and please don't say it's Micah Husbands, guys. He had his glory in the Oaklawn handicap. I wouldn't be surprised if they retire him. I don't know what they're going to do, but he's a 7-year-old. He's had an unbelievable career. I mean, unbelievable career, guys. But his best days are past him. I think that's very clear. Antiquarian was like a big time closer last year. I know he's older now and maybe just more mature. I don't dislike the ride. He lost the Nitrogen by half a length, guys, but frankly, Nitro ran the better race. Let's just be honest about it. I don't understand why they keep having this horse forward so much. I wish he was a little further back and made a run, and I think he would have gotten second. But maybe I'm just, I'm not divorced Antiquarian. He's not a grade 1 animal, but he's a nice horse, guys, and he ran third in the toughest race of the year, so I'm proud of that. I just wish he got second because then I would have the try. So I'm a little bitter right now, guys.
That, or you wish Baez broke got second, or
Well,
anything. There's so many different things.
Yeah,
I thought he ran great. It's just is what it is.
Yeah.
I think you might just be right that, and he's done. He does really well. He can go longer than 1.8 miles too. So it'll be very interesting to see what they end up doing with him. But maybe he's just not as good as the rest of them. But there's nothing wrong with being a nice grade 2 animal at the end of the day.
I will tell you this: he is one game horse, though. I mean, that horse didn't quit in this Whitney, and he was beaten by 5 or 6 lengths. I mean, or 4 or 5 lengths at the end. But no, I think Antiquarian is a very good horse. It's just a little bit too much of a tough competition this race, and probably the better grade 2 or grade 3 horse, but definitely a horse that is very talented.
Let's just go to the chat, guys, and end the show. Attila Corral said manager does not need to get the lead to win. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to be inside and behind horses, guys. Maybe it's just that. But, as of now, I'm watching the stretch. Yeah, you got to give credit to Antiquarian for sure. Baez guys just didn't have it. I mean, he's running on. What did he get, 4th? I'm watching the replay. He didn't quit. Did he get 4th over? He barely got 4th over Tistastic. Just watching here, looking at people in the chat. Sylvain says if Mott can't figure it out, no one can. I sort of agree with you, Sylvain. I don't know what the deal is there.
Somebody said that they should send Baeza to a quarter horse trainer to get him out the gate better.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't hurt.
2-1 was a gift on Sovereignty. Look, I want to be real clear to everyone. And David, I'm not saying you're doing this. Nothing bothers me more than redboarding of people saying after the fact. I think 2-1 is frankly a little low on Sovereignty. I know he just won the damn thing, but I thought he'd more be like 5-2, 3-1. But I think it's relatively fair. Of course, after he wins the race, everyone's going to say, what they want to say there. Let's see. Carlos said Baeza is an underachiever. Hopefully his luck. I don't think it's luck. He's not getting bad trips. This is all his own doing, Kyle. This is not bad luck to me.
It might have been bad luck the first couple times. The 4 times in a row is tough. It is a tough look. But at the end of the day, I don't disagree.
Shelly said, Cassie said she's not going in the Classic. That would be, look, she just earned, as if she needed more street cred, guys. To me, she just got all the street cred she needed. Finishing second in the Whitney against the boys. Just have her go to the Spinster, have her win at 1-9, have her win the Breeders' Cup Distaff at 4-5, and I think that's what I would do with her. Do you guys agree with that, by the way, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's
don't
what
think
should
she's
happen,
out of
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, I know she ran in the Travers, so it's not a direct comparison, but this is kind of Torpedo Anna 2.0 at Saratoga like this, right? Where kind of everyone was like, oh, she's not good enough. It's blah, blah, blah. And I didn't think she was good enough either. I think she's a fantastic filly. Didn't know how she matched up. This is, again, Travers versus Whitney, right? Older horses versus 3-year-olds. But she ran against a much better competition than that year's Travers. And she ran fantastic. So people, like you said, Howard, just gaining that street cred for people that didn't, including myself, I'm in this boat, that didn't wanted to see that number again, just got that number again. So I think if she just runs her races in the filly division for the rest of the year, could be just a shoe-in and chalk it up now. But it is horse racing after all, and that's why we play the game.
Guys, at Saratoga, I'm trying to think of a better filly we've seen the last 20 years, other than Zenyatta at Saratoga. Like, no one. She ran what, a 115 buyer in the last race. This has got to be a 105, 106, right? For sure. I mean, at Saratoga, she's one of the best fillies we've seen since Zenyatta. Now, outside of Saratoga, though, she's not. So where she fits in the pantheon of fillies we've seen the last 20, 25 years is interesting. I got to push back on something, guys, because and Noah, I really Noah G, I hope you're listening. I thank you very much for being part of the show. We love our viewers and listeners. I got to push back, guys. He didn't bounce. This is not a bounce. He ran a massive race in the Stephen Foster, guys, after coming back to Dubai. This is very simple. He didn't break great, and he wants to be on the lead. This is not a bounce. No, I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't know if you guys want to jump into the waters I'm going to, but that's not a bounce. He just didn't get the trip that he wanted, and so he struggled. That's my opinion. You can't say he bounced. It's 6 months after the damn Dubai race, guys. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it could just be also Saratoga, I mean, he ran poorly in the Travers, and
could be.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I mean, because I don't think you can't balance up the last race. He broke through the gate and still won in hand. I mean, he held off the closers that race too. But inside of Saratoga for the last little bit has not been good on dirt.
That didn't help him either. And again, a wide move wins the race. So I don't think inside's the place you want to be, obviously.
Right, and also even when I was saying live during the race, he didn't look like he was traveling well. He never really looked comfortable, and I think Jose realized that about 4 or 5 furlongs in. It is what it is. The horse has done more than enough, and I think the horse will be fine next time out. Just give him maybe a little extra time off, and it's been a grueling campaign, but he hasn't been running poorly after that Dubai race either. He ran really well. He ran even better, I would say. So, I don't think it's technically that, but yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap up the show. It's been a lot of fun. Give me your final thoughts, Kyle, on the Whitney and where you think they should go and what this means. I suppose Golden Tempo is still the head of the class for the Eclipse Award Horse of the Year. What this does do is it puts Sovereignty squarely back in that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, Sovereignty is going to have to string a couple together, obviously, right? Especially after the last couple. But if he does that, again, this is not knock on wood for everything, connections and everything. If Golden Tempo doesn't run a good Travers, because again, he has gotten a little bit injury prone over the last couple weeks. If he strings a couple together, he's absolutely in that mix again. Just another great day of the Whitney, and it's just a little painful because I mean it's horse racing, it's gambling. Whatever comes to you goes back to the kitty as usual. Couldn't have been more right at Colonial Downs last weekend. Could not have been more wrong today at Saratoga. It's the way it goes. And guess what? You'll probably see me. Well, just see me back in again tomorrow for Ellis, but you'll definitely see me back again next week. Just a lot of fun. Andrew, I know, like I said, we talked about tomorrow, but again, I know you had the 6, so you had at least a decent day. in terms of picks. Hopefully, the last 2 races can close it out for you.
Yeah, I'm hoping. And we'll see. I'm really looking forward to that Ellis card tomorrow, though. There's a couple good horses I like there. And especially with some of those key scratches that stayed at Saratoga, it helps me out a little bit better. So, yeah, we'll see. Good day today. Could have been better. Could have been worse. But I'm happy with that win in the Saratoga Derby, right? Yeah, that's right. Or I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, deterministic, huge race. It's been a long day. I'm ready for a nap. So.
Hey, real quick, up there on the contest and Peter Galvin, the Twins Harris contest, Stephen Wells has the lead. It's not over yet with 7,000. Kathleen O'Kane second. Chris Larmy a move in third. James Souza big up in fourth. Where did our boy go? Did Matt drop off here? Looks like, oh boy. Looks like Matt zeroed out. He went all in on, I thought he was on. Was it? No, he was all in on Magnitude. He said, right?
Yeah.
Bummer. All right. So there you go. There's the leaderboard at Twin Spire. Stephen Wells, Kathleen O'Kane, Chris Larmy. I'm sorry. Finish your thoughts. Sorry to interrupt you.
All good, man. I have nothing else to
go. All right. We appreciate so many people watching. Again, we have live shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. We have Weekend Warriors back next week, Kyle. I think you're hosting, actually, if I remember correctly. You and I need to talk for Kings Plate Day, my friend. And major races, I think that's next week, right? Or is that 2 weeks? I got to look at it. I think it's next week.
It might be next week because, like I said, they're trying to open the EP Taylor Turf, which does open tomorrow. They were trying to open that before Kings Plate Day, which has been, I think they closed it out on Kings Plate Day last year. So I know, I apologize. Last thing I'll say, and then I'll turn it over. Apologize to everyone. I have no idea. This is the same mic I've been using for a year and a half. I have no idea why over the past week this has happened. I'm trying to talk louder. I feel bad for Emma, who's my wife, in the kitchen right now, hearing me scream for the past hour and a half, trying to get my microphone to at least somewhat decent volume.
It sounds good now, by the way. Either you're talking louder or you changed something. It sounds louder to me. But anyway,
whatever.
No worries.
But either way,
no worries
I will fix it by Wednesday. I will do everything in my power. So, but good luck, everyone, for the rest of the week and the rest of the day at Saratoga.
All right. Thanks to everyone. Again, we greatly appreciate everyone watching, listening. This has been episode 44 of Weekend Warriors, Grade 1 Whitney edition. Sovereignty wins at 2-1 in the Whitney over the Philly Nitrogen. For my great co-host Kyle Roscoe and Andrew Rosinski, this has been your host Howard Kravitz. Thanks for watching Weekend Warriors. Crush your bets the rest of the weekend. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.